Hey, folks, we are live. Yes, today's the first day that I'm using StreamYard, so there might be some technical stuff. Welcome back to another episode of Orange Hands Bad. I'm just kidding. Today is the launch for the pre-launch sign-up page for Prolog to Retribution. You'll have to excuse me. I'm still waking up 7 hours into my day. I've been kind of giddy with anticipation of this. This is a lifelong dream, really. So I'm super excited. I'm excited that people are excited. That even gets me more excited. There's a whole lot of excitement going on around here. Woo! In the chat, we got Shinobi Raccoon. How are you doing, Shinobi? How you doing? Rising star of an artist. This person is coming up with all sorts of fun stuff. Oh, and I just pulled a Manny. Speaking of Manny Correa, he's going to be doing something really awesome. He's going to be doing an exclusive trading card. Now, we haven't decided which character. He does get his choice from a roster of characters, whichever one is going to be the most fun for him to draw. I'm sure folks will probably want a Scalpel 0. He might even want a Scalpel 0. I don't know yet. We will find out. He's not around. He's spending time with the family and working on his vehicles and doing real world stuff. I know, the nerve of some people, right? So yeah, if you're out there in the audience, please like and share this broadcast out. We are 1 hour away from me hitting that little launch button on the IndieGoGo for the pre-launch page, so people can sign up to receive email notifications and special offers and fun stuff like that. As I reload the thingamabob, yeah, hopefully I'm going to have some cool guests on today to talk about their awesome projects. And dude, there are so many cool books coming out. So many cool books. I'm actually beside myself with excitement with these guys that are crowdfunding. I especially love the folks who crowdfund so that they can bring a version of their book to the general public. That makes me really excited. That gives me hope for the future of comics. Down with the big two. The king is dead. Long live the king. And the king being Indie Comics and the Comicsgate Network. Just absolutely fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It's just, there's so much coolness coming out. So much. I'm beside myself with joy and excitement for this. So yeah, so today I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna finish up the black and whites for this. This is the landscape poster / wallpaper. And then off to Willie Reed it goes for colors. He's an awesome dude who's contributing his time to this project, and in the hopes for some profit share. That's the dedication. Like I've got I've got 3 people on board so far that are willing to help me out pro rata, and I'm a man of my word. So I will have full transparency with anybody who wants to get in pro rata on this. And well, actually, anybody, even if I do pay them in advance, when I can afford to pay them in advance for their work, because there will be profit share, because long live capitalism. I'm so excited. I'm been kind of nervous and a little speechless at times, which is interesting because normally you can't get me to shut up. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat here in a little bit, but the link to come in, hang out, and talk about stuff you like. If you have a project on IndieGoGo, please let me know. If there is a project you like on IndieGoGo, to come talk about it. If there's something that you got from IndieGoGo, please come talk about it. That's what we do here. I'm not anti-Kickstarter. I'm just absolutely not pro-Kickstarter. I don't like their business model. I don't think that their business model is as sustainable as IndieGoGo's, and that IndieGoGo won't discriminate against you because somebody said some nasty things about you on the internet. So yeah, no, Kickstarter can, in my opinion, can honestly go the way of the dodo. It can just go bye. Yeah, so let me take a big old swig off my soda here. Yeah, I'm drinking soda today. Man, that's some good room temperature Dr. Pepper. Those of you who are military veterans probably have a greater appreciation for warm soda than most. So, I'm going to get into this here and get to drawing, and because I want to get this done. Got Scalpel 0 leaping into action against this guy. I really honestly I don't have a name for him. He's not even mentioned by name in the book. So normally, like each and every character that's in my stories has like a full background, but this guy, I don't know. So far in the script, he's not even mentioned. The editor and I are going back and forth as to whether we should. The editor says yes. I say meh. I'll probably capitulate to the editor because they're usually right. So let me see here. Let me find the right pen. I'm looking for my 0.2 millimeter Copic multiliner, and I think I ate it. Did I eat it? If I did, it was probably delicious. No, but seriously though, 0.25, 0.1, 0.03. This is not okay. Where is my pen? I need that specific size of pen. Nope. Here it was, hiding right in plain sight. Let's just give a moment of thanks for no snakes and get into this here. I'm going to draw for a little bit, get some stuff done on this. And add some texture here too, or some texture to Zero's antiquated utility belt. Sometimes old tech is the best tech. Sometimes there's just no reason to reinvent the wheel. And part of the experiment of this pseudo artificial intelligence, excuse me, is figuring out what would this thing have preferences and whatnot. Well, of course she does. She has her preferences, she has her biases and prejudices, not just not like racial or ethnic or cultural prejudice, but prejudice in favor of or against certain pieces of gear towards inanimate objects. and sometimes animate objects, but objects, not people. Because that's just stupid. So yeah, I'm really excited. Let's see here. I'm not subscribed to myself. I could have floated the numbers a little bit. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I want to thank everybody. I got my little monthly report from Twitter on how my channel has been doing, and I want to thank everybody who has subscribed, watched, so on and so forth, because my channel analytics are doing good. It's growing. It makes me very happy. My ore baby's small, but it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I want to huge shout out. One thing I do got to plug it, because I've been a fan of this project for over 4 years, since its initial announcement and inception. The first artwork came out from Wallenberg, and the music came out from Master Boot Record, and that is I'm excited for Virtuaverse on Steam, a nice old style point and click cyberpunk adventure. That one's going to be really exciting. Seriously, really exciting, and I'll have some special guests here in a little while, and whatnot. So, you know what? Before I really get started, I think what I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask everybody out there, is that I am going to share out. Oh, what's up? We got Manny Correa, Good Dog Press, up in the audience. What is up, Manny? How are you doing, brother? So good to see you. I'm going to do a couple of things real quick. Number one is I'm going to drop that link for the StreamYard in the chat. And then if everybody could go ahead and share this out on social media of your choice, that would be awesome. I am LIVE live. A lot of exclamation marks and no context. No hashtags for that. For those of y'all who don't know, Manny Correa, Good Dog Press, in the chat, is the creator and artist and writer for The Unbreathable Skunk Girl, a fantastic, good, classic 90s bad girl comic. It's really good, folks. I've read it, and I did some work on it, but I read this book, and man, it's fun. It's fun. It's got a wonderful. It's got some twists in it. It's got some turns. It's got some things that are unexpected. So I do highly recommend that one. Unfortunately, you are unable to get a copy of that unless you backed it. If you missed it, you missed it, and you're going to have to wait. But the great thing about that book is that whenever Manny announces that he's going to do a second campaign, he's going to be doing the second issue. And what's great about this is that you don't have to read the first issue to enjoy the second one. It's like a good classic comic. So you can just pick it up from the second issue and just enjoy. Absolutely. It's a lot of good fun. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking at StreamYard, so I'm trying to figure out here this whole thing. I don't understand this program. I know, and it's what's funny is that it's a much simpler interface than what I'm used to dealing with. So I suffer from the the whole thing of like regularly I'm a PC user, but now I'm on a Mac, and suddenly it's like I've never used a computer before. Yeah, it's crazy talk, crazy talk. Yeah, craziness. I'm so glad to see y'all here. And Shinobi Raccoon did the bonus comic that was in the Unbreathable Skunk Girl. Shinobi Raccoon does some anthropomorphic art, draws a lot of feet, which amuses me. I'm not into feet, but I love how people sometimes get like triggered, like, what's up with this whole feet thing? And sometimes the troll in me just can't help but just be like, oh, no. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. And see, now I'm going to post that twice as much. Yeah, Mac is a totally different animal than PC. It's some crazy stuff. And mods, let me know, because sometimes the way YouTube chat works is that it won't show me, it won't update when new people show up. Like it'll only show like a handful of people from when I last did. So if I miss something, just tell me to refresh my chat. And because I want to, today's an exciting day. It's a celebration. There have been so many false starts when it comes to the Retribution storyline that I'm glad that it's finally coming to fruition. It's been a lot of, I've gone through some ups and downs during all of this, and the latest one is losing my job, which no, I didn't really lose the job. I actually quit because my boss wasn't letting me do my job. And so my argument was like, well, then why should I collect a paycheck? I know. Sometimes I'm too damn honorable for my own good that I will end up doing myself wrong. So I'm going to have Zero here. She's going to be jumping through a wall of fire with her twin kukri. I know I showcase her pistols a lot, but honestly, the kukri are her favorite weapons. It's a little bit of, what's up, some old metalhead? How's it going, brother? Oh, man, some old metalhead. I'm going to give you a link. I'm going to give you a wrench. And the reason why I hand out wrenches is because I give people wrenches so that they can share links to their wares and their stuff, so they can pimp some stuff out. And then I do a de-wrenching every so often, where I pull it back to just my core moderators and and whatnot. So, but please share your stuff. Some of that old metalhead over there, he's got this incredibly fun comic called Thrashers, where space aliens invade a small town, and it's up to some of the neighborhood kids to and I say kids, young adults, to stop this invasion and fight these aliens. And it's a lot of fun. I did the cover for that, and he's got some incredible pinup art. I'm like, dang, man, that stuff's so good it makes me look bad. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm really excited. And Metalhead, did you get your stuff? Did you get your stuff? I sent that to you. I haven't checked on the tracking number for that. I do give out tracking numbers with all orders. And oh, cool. Shinobi Raccoon says, working on a kind of remix of that crossover I did with Skunk Girl the first time. I'm excited. That's fun. Is it like a reboot of that original story? Kind of makes me wonder. This is going to be a lot of line art, and this is going to be indicative of the final art style I'm going to use. I'm going to do like some classic like 70s, 80s into 90s kind of like traditional cross hatching kind of stuff for this. Oh, I should probably say 70s, 80s cross hatching, the old heavy metal stuff, not the crazy Jim Lee cross hatching, but something a little more traditional here. Not that I don't like that, like I do like that style. Rob Willis of Shinobi Sasquatch and Viking Werewolf does a lot of that style, and I actually really do like it a lot. But it's not necessarily a style. Okay, so it's a reboot. Nice. Cool. That's fun. Well, your skill has grown immensely since you did that comic, Shinobi. So I am excited to see what you come up with. So I'm just adding some embers here. Gotta make sure they're kind of Jackson Pollock. There's no discernible pattern or regular spacing kind of deal going on. Have some licks of fire kind of hanging off and whatnot. I know I need to work on that a little more, but that's all right. When you're drawing, you should go outside of your comfort zone quite often, as often as you can, because that's how you grow. 103, I've been teaching martial arts for over 15 years, and I can tell you that a person learns best and most when they are 103 to 105% of their comfort level. What? You have not gotten it yet. Samel Middlehead has not gotten his package yet. That upsets me. Well, I did insure it. I don't remember for how much I insured it, but I remember I insured it for at least the value of what you paid into that. So I would check that tracking number and lean on the U.S. Postal Service. That does not make me happy. I like it when people get their stuff. I do. I really like it when people get their stuff, and when I hear that they haven't gotten their stuff, it kind of irks me and puts a damper on my day. But there is a link to the StreamYards in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and drop that again. So if anybody wants to come, oh, I got somebody in the thing. Hey, what's up, LL Cool P, the master of Niobe, Rebel Gaming and Comics? What is up, brother? How are you doing?
Well, apparently I'm up. That's what's going on here. I'm awake. I'm not dressed. That's why you're not seeing me on camera. But I am awake. I'm in, like, jogging pants and a t-shirt wrapped in a blanket, just having breakfast. Well, breakfast for me, probably lunch for many other people. And I was going through YouTube and I seen my buddy, Mr. Tank Fair Art, working on something incredible here. And apparently there's a Scalpel Zero sign-up party. So, I had to figure out and see, just what the hell's going on, brother.
Yeah, brother. Well, it's finally coming to fruition, man. It's finally coming to fruition, and I promised I'm not going to cry.
Well, we got Shinobi Raccoon. He says Rebel Comics. Now listen to this, Tank. Rebel Comics is amazing. Like what? Now listen.
Like what?
Amazing. Like what?
Fuck yeah.
another friend of the channel, Mandy. She's a nice one. She's got a kind heart on her.
I like me some Mandy Summers. I'm a simp. Did you know that? I'm a simp.
That's right. No, simping ain't easy.
It ain't easy, brother. And I'm not gonna lie. I simp a little bit on Miss Summers. I don't make it, too blatant, but I like Mandy. She's a nice girl. I like Martina Makota. She's pretty hot.
Dude, she is a beautiful woman.
Now she's married, but one can always dream. Now, Shinobi Raccoon says simping for Tifa. I'm going to be doing that in a little bit. After I bail out of here, I'm going to take a shower, then I'm going to play some Final Girl Fantasy Tifa 7. So
that's right. I know. I love that. I've been catching them a little late. I watch a little bit because I love your commentary on that stuff. This stuff, so yeah.
It's always better when I got some people on with me, right? Like, if you're watching Rebel Gaming and it's just me, it's either gonna be two things. Either I'm gonna be blabbing nonstop, or I'm just gonna be so intent in the game that it's like I've forgotten about the chat for like 20 minutes.
So, speaking of Rebel Gaming, man, I'm hoping that with the stimulus checks that we're getting from our government here. In the States, that the kids, I've been talking to the wife. Hopefully the kids are going to get a new Xbox. And because I'm trying to finagle of getting the old Xbox. We want to get them a nice new Xbox. The kids have been good. They've been doing their schoolwork, and they deserve
they deserve a treat. Oh, I hear you.
They do. They earned it. I make my kids earn everything, and I make sure that they know it. That they have to earn it, because I want to spoil them, but I don't want them to feel spoiled. It's the ultimate.
You want them to have a feeling of accomplishment. It's like, hey, if I actually do what I need to do, there could be a reward here at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because as a parent, my ultimate product is another adult who has joined society and is going to contribute and move us forward into the future. And so
what are you saying? You're going to buy yourself a PlayStation 4 and hang out with Rebel? What's going on here?
Well, see, that's the thing, is that I want to get them a newer Xbox, and. But I would love to do a PlayStation 4, but I don't think that's in my future, especially with wanting to get something for the kids. I would be on the Xbox, but I want to get in on some BWK wrestling.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, I do have the Xbox. You know this. Right now, it's been kind of dormant. It's just been sitting there, but it's always ready to fire up if I know someone wants to play games on there with me.
Nice.
I mean, I don't have, a subscription right now, but that can change with one PayPal transaction,
Right. It's inexpensive. It's cheap. I pay for that for the kids. So that way my son can play his Fortnite and his Warframe, and we've got a family Minecraft server, a survival server.
Next thing you know, Tank is going to tell me he's knee deep into Animal Crossing.
No, gosh, no. That game does not interest me.
Fuck, man. I don't even know what this game is. I've been hearing all about it. And then when I do see images of it, I'm like, this looks like a fucking cartoon for 2-year-olds. You know, I don't know what I'm looking at here, but.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Like from what I've seen of that, it reminds me of the old script, script cash. You know, like company money.
Mm-hmm.
Like indentured servitude is I call it indentured servitude. The game. Because no matter what you do, no matter how you play that game, you always come out behind, and you have to work even harder in order to make it go forward. And I understand it's a fun thing, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it sets people up for indentured servitude. So I'm like,
the minute we're born, we're indentured servants. Now, Shinobi Raccoon says, I'm torn on that too. He says, especially with PS4 on its way to being obsolete. I mean, I don't know if it's obsolete. You know, just like here's the thing. I think the PS4 is a superior machine. Now, I'm not basing that on any specs or stats or anything like that. I'm just basing it on I got 2 machines. Which one do I use more? Right? I played the PlayStation 95% of the time. Once in a blue moon, I'll crack on the Xbox. You know, I don't think it's obsolete. I mean, it may become obsolete when the PlayStation 5 comes out at Christmas, but at the same time, it'd be no more obsolete than what the PlayStation 3 is now, which is still a great machine, and many people still use and play on it. You know? Yeah,
it's true. No, it's always going to
at least have another year or 2 of life left, because it takes time for people to transition over to a new console, especially when they first come out, because they're so bloody expensive, right? So when you talk about getting the kids an Xbox, are you going to wait for the next gen consoles to come out, or are you talking about like, you know, just picking them up an Xbox One? Like what's the dealio?
Yeah, we're gonna get them the probably the better of the new Xbox One series. They're really inexpensive, especially with the wife. She knows how to do. She's very good at shopping.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be it'll be good. It'll be good, and plus the kids will be happy. They love their games. They love especially stuff in HD. They're into the stuff that kids are normally into. The Fortnites. And the Warframe.
Fortnite fucking banned a 9-year-old.
Oh, I know, and that really upset me. I was like, look, well, it's because if you read the end user license agreement for that, is like, yeah, it's in order to compete, being the ranked stuff, you have to be 13 or have a parent or guardian's permission, and that's just a standard legal waiver.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, the kids' parents are not happy about this, especially with the amount of money they've sunk into that game.
Well, this is the thing, right? And I made this on the video, but I said, you got to look at it this way. This kid is 9 years old. This is like your primary. Let's pretend this is comic books, right? This is your primary target audience. This is your customer base, and they might think that one kid in the grand scheme of things is nothing, but this one kid probably sunk a bunch of money into the game. Mm-hmm. And not only that, he was streaming the game. So this kid was advertising that game to other kids for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they banned him live on stream. He broke down and cried in tears. This was all on this kid's stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it was. I saw
that's pretty harsh. It was a 4-year ban because the kid played in a mode that he was too young to play. And why not send the kid like a little email? Hey, you can't do that, or maybe kick him off for a couple of days or whatever. But a 4-year ban from the entire platform of that game is like fucking next level shit, man. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and if you look at the graphics, there is a legal precedent here, and it goes back to tobacco. And it's like, well, if you look at the graphics of it, then who are you? There we go. Who are you?
Oh, don't spotlight me. I'm just a chibi. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure this dang thing out here. Oh, there we go. Haha. Who are you advertising towards? with those graphics. You know, who is your prime demographic? And, you know, you look at the graphics and you look at the characters and stuff like that, and the special characters that they put in there and stuff. And it's like, dude, your target demographic is little kids. And granted, it is a violent game and whatnot, and due to ESRB, you have to say, oh, okay, it's for teen and older because it contains violence. Although I'm against, you know, ratings like ESRB and stuff like that being so strictly enforced, because that exists because parents can't be parents, responsible parents, and just, you know, police what their kids are watching, doing, etc. Because yeah, no, there's times I had to turn off the Fortnite because my son, he just gets a little too rambunctious, and it's like, look, man, if this is how you're gonna act after you get done playing a game, then apparently you're letting that game influence you. And we teach him to be responsible and not let media influence him so heavily. But these parents, they can't do that. They're weak. I have a very low opinion of them. You know, not to be an asshole, but I am an asshole.
I'm advertising you now, Tank. I'm going to advertise you on my Facebook page. So you never know who might, maybe we'll get someone drop in, maybe we won't, but you never know. But I said I am live now as a guest on Tank Fair Art. Right meow. That's right, right meow.
Right meow.
Watch here and interact with us. Heck
yes, please come join the party.
Right?
Because it's just fun, man. This is, you know, I've been wanting to do, comics have been kind of like a dream of mine since I was 12 years old, and I went to my first comic book convention, and I realized that it was an attainable goal. And, you know, I've dropped off of it at times and gotten all respectable and gotten a real job and all that stuff. But it's time to stop putting this stuff on the back burner.
It's time.
It's time to go.
It's Vader time, man.
Yeah. No, I was hanging out with Jimmy Reyes, a veteran comic book artist, and and Clayton Barton, the guy who runs howtodrawcomics.net. And, you know, they had a lot of nice things to say. And these are guys that they teach. They don't just do art. They teach this stuff, you know. And when those guys are like, dude, you're ready.
In your chat, we have some old metalhead, 1960. I think he does the book called Thrashers, right?
He does. He does. Did you know that I did the cover for that?
No, I didn't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did the cover for that. He's
got cereal.
Pen up art. Dude, he's a way cool dude. He's a way cool.
Yeah, he said hello about 10 minutes ago. I want to make sure that you know, he realized I wasn't ignoring him or anything. Shinobi Raccoon says, I'd be mad too. Just kick him off the server, referring to the 9-year-old kid. And he says, just blame media for everything.
Yeah, it's a scapegoat. It's a cop-out. You know, it is. It's a cop-out. It's a
Tank. I'm gonna go in Rebel Comics mode here for a moment, okay? I'm gonna
go for it. Go for it, please.
I'm gonna do a mini interview with you, and then sure. I'm gonna invite you on my show like later on next week or something. But Tank,
thank you.
Tank Ferret Art.
Yes.
You know, I've been watching you for a long time now, brother. I've been watching and hearing all about this Scalpel Zero, seemingly for at least a good year. Now, you talk about getting on the ball. You talk about getting things done. And I have seen you do these live stream series, right? You've been on consistently now for the last couple of weeks. You've been doing live drawing. You've been working on a bookmark. I'm not sure what this is. Let's start with this. What are you working on right now, sir? This
is the landscape poster / wallpaper. So, yes, this one, I had to do a new one because the old one I had was colored by Willie Reed. As I go thumbing through my stuff to try and find it. Yes, the Willie Reed.
Do you know Willie Reed is like an hour and a half drive from me?
No way.
Yeah, he's
That is way
Canadian.
cool.
He lives in the same province I do. He's just like an hour and 30-minute drive. But we've met before. It's just we don't know it because he used to go to the same conventions that I got kicked out of.
Huh? So yeah, this
Yeah.
is the old one, but this doesn't pertain. This pertains to the other story that I was working on, the actual 2065 Retribution. But I needed infrastructure to get this done and achieve a certain look and get certain things done right for this book. There is a specific way it was supposed to go. So I was like, dang it, man, another setback. And I said, F it, no more setbacks. We're going to do the prologue to Retribution. This is a 4-part series of the events that lead up to Scalpel Zero, a decades-old prototype, basically an android, a cyber droid, a mixture of flesh and of organic and inorganic components. The events that lead up to her seeking to kind of like get unauthorized upgrades to stay technologically relevant.
All right, so Tank, in Rebel Comics, I like to ask the tough questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no softballing here.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start with the sign-up party. Now, I'm seeing here in your description, this is the prologue to Retribution. Pre-launch sign-up page goes live at noon PST. Now, is this page live yet?
No, it goes live in 19 minutes. 19 minutes.
Because I was going to say, I don't see a link in your description, which definitely should be there.
Yes, there should be a link in the description, and I didn't know how to do that. This is my first IndieGoGo campaign. My first.
No. Well, you copy and paste the URL and you just put it in your YouTube description. It's not rocket appliances,
Okay.
But you need to do that. I want to be here when it goes LIVE live. Now, Tank, I'm going to ask you another hardball question.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that you're doing promo art. You're doing these posters, you're doing these bookmarks. But Tank, if you're going to do a comic book, right, what I got to see from you is sequential pages, like artwork on pages. I want to see an actual page of Scalpel Zero being done and not just promo art.
Yes.
So when is that going to happen, Tank?
I will be doing that stuff live over the next couple of weeks. That stuff actually rolls into production.
Beautiful.
The script is done. It's going in for final dialogue edits, and soon we'll have soon, very soon.
We have
and people
Michaeline Art in the chat. He says, "Evening, everyone. How are you all? Tank, how are you?"
I'm doing good, man. Michael Hing, a wonderful cyberpunk creator. One of the rising stars of comics. This guy, I've been watching him for a couple of years now. He's got his own group on Facebook called Cyberpunk Mainframe. It's a wonderful little cyberpunk appreciation group. I do highly recommend everybody going to check that out. And he's got a book that's in the pre-launch sign-up phase as well.
Yeah, I gotta bust Tank's balls here because Tank's chat seems a lot like my chat, where everyone just has a blue wrench.
Yeah, I hand out wrenches to people who have live stuff, and Michael is one of my regular mods. And yeah, I hand out wrenches to people so that they can promote their wares. They can drop links to that kind of stuff. So hint, Michael Hing, you should drop a link to your project.
Oh, I can drop links. Tank, you shouldn't open that door, man. Damn. But before I shill me, let's continue to shill you. How many pages is the first issue? Is it like a one-shot, ongoing series, mini-series? What's the format, the plan here for Scalpel Zero? How many pages is it going to be?
The first book is going to have 24 pages of story content plus bonus features. And it is one of a 4-issue series.
Okay, so it's a 4-issue miniseries. I like the sound of this.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sound of this because I tried to do the ongoing series. It doesn't work when you're only able to produce a book once every 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But a miniseries will work because once you got it complete, it's complete. Then you have that whole story arc, a standalone story. If you ever want to do a Scalpel miniseries after that, then you're free to do that. That's what Danger Girl's been doing. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
They just do
Yeah.
mini series now, and that's what I'm doing with my book. Now, when do you if you're ready to put up a like a sign up party launch page on IndieGoGo, that must tell me that you're very confident that you'll be rocking along with this very soon. So, how long do you think it's going to be before you actually launch a real, like, actually hit the live button, go live on IndieGoGo where people can back and see some of this extra work? Like, how long is this going to take, Tank?
In order to get far enough along that I can present a solid ash can to people that they can read on the page, so it'll have like a good 5 pages of story, enough leading into the hook, for the so ash can, and that's lettered as well, so that'll probably take about 2 to 4 weeks, and then at that point I will have because I will have done at least 5 pages. And remember, that's at least, so there might be more, but I will have a solid timeline as to how long it's going to take me to produce the actual book itself, and I can go ahead and launch with confidence. And of course, I would be taking John Malin's advice and padding the hell out of the delivery date, because it is better to deliver early than late.
Yeah, and that's what I've done. I actually managed to deliver a month early. Ran into the actual delivery month, but I mean, hell, if you're on time, that means you're 3 months early in the comic book world. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah. No, I see a lot of folks getting upset about comics coming out late, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's a big issue. It's a huge issue. Listen. When you promise a book and you give a date, now we in crowdfunding, we kind of understand that shit happens, and sometimes people, they put a date that's unrealistic, like it's too soon. You know what I mean? They maybe it's their first campaign, they don't have any experience, they think they'll get the job done by month X, but it's really month Y when it's complete. You know what I mean? And so we understand that in crowdfunding, that a book might be a couple months late. But when you start running into 6 months and then dragging it on more closer to a year, that's a real issue.
Yeah.
People at that point feel like they've been ripped off. Like, if it's a couple of months late, it's no big deal. We're used to it. I mean, just update your backers, let them know you're a month or two behind. Don't run or hide from them. You know what I mean? And everything will be kosher. But the minute you start ghosting people, and then people don't hear from you for like 3 months on end, and there's no update at all to your campaigns, that is bad, folks. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, that's the last thing you want to do, is when you're it's you got to treat backers like they're investors / clients, and well, you got to treat them like they're investors. And investors, you never hide from your investors, ever. That is a way to not get money from investors in the future, because they'll tell other potential investors, like, hey, don't invest in this person. They won't, they'll say the negative things that you did. But if you're going to have a solid line of communication with those folks, and even if you are late, but after you deliver, they're more inclined to put in a kind word for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, word of mouth, right? That's the best way of advertising. It's like, hey, I got why do you think I always retweet every time someone shows off their Niobe package? You know what I mean? Because that's a happy backer that's endorsing my book, and other people will see that and go, man, maybe next time I'll give that a try. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's exactly what you need to do. Oh man, Shinobi, what's up, Shabby? My son, how is he doing with his vestry? And and Shabby says he'd argue that now even a month is a big deal, and I can agree with that to a degree, because you don't have to make your own mistakes in order to learn from mistakes. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You can actually reach out to folks and go, hey, so what are some pitfalls I can avoid, and how can I avoid them? There are tons of people out there that are just absolutely willing to give you their time and priceless advice, to be honest. And Shinobi says what annoys him is when one criticizes an artist for being late on fulfilling, and you're just as late or worse. It says, put you, dot, 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 story continues, put your book product in Walmart before taking care of your backers. And that is a jab directly at Red Rooster. I have to agree with that. I felt that that was kind of an affront to the backers of that project. The book is, 2 years late? And Walmart got their copies. But people are going out to Walmart and getting their copies before they get their backer copy. I think it's a bit disrespectful and quite unprofessional. And nothing nasty towards the creator, but just, hey, that's
some people are bite off more than they can chew, and they don't realize it, right? They don't understand how expensive it really, and a lot of this comes down to financial, like mismanagement of money, not asking for enough for your shipping, and then you end up paying out of pocket for that, or realizing that maybe your printing costs are a little bit more than you expected, or whatever happens in life that happens to throw a monkey wrench into your plans. Shit happens all the time. Like, no one expected. If you were to talk to me last year, I can guarantee you I never would have said, I think there's going to be a COVID-19 that's going to take out the fucking comic book shops. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the coof is a big deal. And it's hampered economies all around the world. We have a worldwide economic recession right now. And like that's something you can't predict. Thank you, China.
Well, we now have 8 people watching with 4 thumbs up. I need to see that number double, right? I need to see at least 8 thumbs up. Let's get it maybe in the double digits. Now we got Shabby. And he says, I argue that even a month now is a big deal. So waiting a month now for some people is a big deal. I think that's a little harsh. But I think people are starting to lose patience, when it comes to these crowdfunding books. Some people spend like thousands of dollars on these books, dude, and maybe receive 25% of the books, and they're still waiting on the others. I'll tell you this, I backed 3 IndieGoGo campaigns and I haven't received one yet. It made me stop backing IndieGoGo campaigns.
Well, yeah, no. And Ethan Van Sciver and a couple of other folks who they put out a requirement of like, hey, you want me to showcase you have to prove that you can deliver, and that's not unreasonable. They've got large fan bases and whatnot, and whereas with the first Cyber Frog book that went out hideously late, but all the subsequent books have gone out on time, and people are getting them in a reasonable time frame. And I'm not opposed to that mode of thinking of like, hey, you want to use my platform, prove it, prove to my customers.
Well, what was funny is that when he said that, I was like, okay, I get it. You don't want to be made a fool of. You don't want to endorse someone and then, like a courteous, and then have that kind of blow up in your face, right? But then it came, someone made a great point on the Twitter and said, well, what about guys like Cecil that you've been promoting the shit out of nonstop, who's never fulfilled a book yet?
Yeah. Well, and there's that.
So where's the line drawn? Is the line drawn when they're your good buddies, or is this going to be a standard that's going to be upheld to everybody, regardless of who they are?
I think I think Cecil's grandfathered in. I think that's where it stands, is that people like Cecil and Dan Fraga and whatnot, they're grandfathered in because they were already being promoted before that statement was made, and it's on them to absolutely deliver, because now it's his ass on the line for having them, and right and fairly.
Well, look, it's not Ethan's responsibility to make sure that people do what they're supposed to do. I mean, I brought on people on my show that never, made the mark or fulfilled. It's not my fault, but at the same time, you do kind of feel foolish. It's just like a pride thing. It's like, oh shit, man, this is my name. I endorsed this guy and he didn't deliver. So the next time I endorse someone, are people really going to take me seriously, or are they just going to think that they're throwing money away for nothing?
Yeah, exactly. That's very astute.
So Shinobi Raccoon says, what annoys me is when you criticize an artist for being late on fulfilling and you're just as late or later or worse. You put, yeah, I know where he's going with this. You put your product in Walmart before taking care of your backers. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of all those business decisions that, you know, the Brightwisers have made. I mean, I can tell you this, if they wanted Niobe in fucking Walmart, I'll be in fucking Walmart, you know? But I mean, would that come at the expense of delivering before my backers? I would hope not. But, you know, there could be a contract and logistics and timing and all that shit that may have been important for that deal to go down as the way it did. We just don't know because we're not inside those meetings. So I can't speculate on that.
Yeah.
Some old metalhead.
From what I understand,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, from what I understand in regards to that, is that the Brightwisers, and this is it's good that they did this, that they approached Walmart, and they got additional investors to invest in their product, which is that's smart. And if you can run a 6-figure campaign like Red Rooster did, go get investors. At that point, you can get people to invest, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars into your project. But man, those people that brought you that 6-figure campaign, you better take care of them first, because those are the people who believed in you before the big money did. And you never, ever, under any circumstance, step on the back of your core fan base.
Well, it is like this. It's like that's what brought you to the dance, right? Without that campaign, without raising those funds, no one would have noticed them, right? You would have been just a speck on the board, you know, like.
Yeah.
So some old metalhead says, I'm revising my Kickstarter page, but here's the link. And he's dropped a link to, I'll take a look at that in a second. And dude, we'll get you back on my show here at some point too. Just remind me to do that. And I'll just do like an open mic night. You know what I mean? And whoever fucking wants to come on. Shabby says, dude, I'm all done on issue 1 now. I'm on commissions. Money are needed. LOL. And then it's off to some sketch cards as tiers. So if you guys are looking to have some art done, now's the time. Hit up Shabby.
Yeah.
Michael says, I think Cecil deserves a spot as they already established, and Cecil joined as a fan before he was even going to do a book. The demand was there for Cecil, and that's why it is happening for him. Well, Cecil is a character. Like Cecil himself is a walking, talking, breathing comic book character. So it was only natural, right, to see a book done based on him, whether it was just for comedic relief or just something for the boys, or actually something to put out to the world. Now, I think a lot of people are still skeptical if Cecil will deliver, or Cecil's just gonna, you know, take the cash and run. You know,
it's a running gag.
It's a running gag, but you know, it'll be interesting to see because he could have like a franchise. Honestly, like Cecil could be a brand. You know. The way that character is designed and the way he conducts himself on YouTube, he's just a funny dude. You know what I mean? And so capitalize on that, man. Some old metalhead says, I'm always looking for artists. Okay, well, let's have a look at your Kickstarter. I'm going to click on this right now and let's see what's going on. This is a private preview. Okay, well, let me see it. So you're gonna do a 60-day campaign. He only has a goal now. Tank, get this.
Yeah,
he only has a goal of $750. Now I'm gonna ask you flat out, metalhead, why is that goal? Is it just so you can get funded and put it out? I mean, $750. I'll be honest, would even cover the cost of shipping. You know what I mean? Like it won't. It won't cover the cost of printing either. You would need, in my opinion, you need to at least double that. But $750 is what he's got it down on the preview right now. I like the logo. We got a really nice looking logo. I don't know if that was the logo last time, but I'm seeing this logo and I'm liking it. Now I've seen all this art before, because I interviewed the man. I know the story. I know about the aliens crashing into the rock concert and the fans sort of rising up here. He's got a decent looking cover here. I just flipped through that. There's some really nice sort of black and white artwork here. One of the funnest parts is reading the risk and challenges. Okay. So let's see what the risks and challenges are for this. So he says, funding. We are looking to raise $750 to cover the cost of printing and shipping materials. I'm telling you, brother, this I'm telling you, that's not enough. By working with a collective of creators who have successfully crowded their own projects in the past, we have a support system that will help us avoid some of the missteps other first-time campaigns encounter. So now we have some stretch goals. So for $1,000, you'll get the backstage pass, the lanyard. For $1,250, you'll get a sexy 11x17 poster by Paul Ketz. At $1,500, we get another sexy poster. Now this guy is dead on. Now listen, you got Illustrator Monk doing work for you. You know you're doing something right, because Illustrator Monk has just been on fire lately. He's been doing stuff for Brian Ball and the Sailor Rogowski project I'm a part of. I actually got to see Illustrator Monk draw Niobe for the first time, and I have rights to that image that Brian Ball gave to me, so it's just sweet. For $2,000, you get 5 Jose Paris 11x17 poster. I don't know if I said that name right, and there's more to be announced. So it seems like that his stretch goals are kind of jumping up by $250 increments until you get to that last one. I would probably switch this, like if this was my project, Tank, and this is just me, you know, being the creator that I am. If you only need 750 and you're sure you can do it, that's fine, that's great. But I'd probably bump that to 1,000. If you can't raise 1,000, then I don't know what 750 is going to do for you. You know what I mean? Like,
I can dig it. Yeah, like my project goal is going to be really low. But that's because I have talked to several printers here in the Los Angeles area. I am sourcing locally for all my goodies. It's one of the perks of living where I do live, is that I do live in one of the world's largest financial sectors, and they have every service you could ever imagine or want here. Of course, you know, it's at the small goal, I'm paying basically print on demand prices. I'm paying print on demand prices at that. And so my profit margin is very slim, but as the campaign grows and I get more purchasing power, I will be transferring that savings back on to the customer. So as the campaign grows, they'll get more bang for their buck.
well, I'll tell you, a lot of small creators are on that sort of print on demand sort of thing. I'm on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I need comics done, I send an email and a request to Comics Wellspring, and they print them out. But when you're doing print on demand like that, and let's say you're only printing like 500 books or less, right? Which is what we're doing. We know we don't have a large print run. You're looking at paying like bare minimum $3 to $4 a book.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have to turn around and sell that book for, I don't know, $6, $7, $8, maybe $10 to try and get some sort of profit back out of it at all. Yeah. And, you know, but the trick here, and so you're not making very much money at all, right? So
True.
The trick with that is that's where the variant covers come into play, right? So let's say I am doing the print on demand and I got my cover A and I sell it for, you know, let's say it costs me $4 to print it and I sell it for $7 or $8. Okay. Then I decide to, you know, say hire an artist that has a name in the industry, you know, someone that people recognize. So in my case, I'll go with Paul Green. So I get Paul Green to come and do a cover. I make that cover limited edition. It costs me the same amount to print it. It costs me the same amount to ship it. But because the art on it is different and I'm going to make it a rarer piece, I can now charge more. So the Paul Green cover now goes for $20. So now where it costs me $4 to print the book, I'm now making a $16 profit off of a variant. And that, folks, is the reason why people do variants.
Yeah, and there will be I will be doing a limited variant. The artist has yet been decided. It will be a stretch goal to be able to afford that artist. Yeah, a lot of this, because it is starting with such a low funding goal, a lot of this stuff's going to be at various stretch goals where it's like, okay, yeah, where I should have stuff, you know, at a 5K level, then yeah, it'll be at a 5K level and stuff like that. I think at 5K is little tank themed thumb drives that have all the concept work and whatnot, and and some extra goodies. You know, a lot of artwork. You know, people seem to like that little thumb drives and whatnot. You know, it's going to be a dynamic campaign. Let me tell you, the writing out the descriptions of the reward levels has been fun. With a capital F May, because there's a lot of math has gone into it. Like, no joke, I have been doing calculus.
Calculus.
Sure, that the finances, calculus, yeah, in order to make sure that and talking to the people who are going to be producing these products and locking in written agreements, locking in those prices, so there's no surprise. Oh yeah, you know, our price went up by 5-10%, which that may not seem like a lot, but when
times that by 200.
Yeah, exactly. It adds up. It will add up, and it can wreck a campaign. If
We have
somebody
Trusty
changes
Sidekick in the chat, and he says dog stars represent.
Dog stars represent. What's up? Woof woof. Woof woof woof.
Yeah, so it's nice to see the dog stars now. I mean, so yeah, if Scalpel Zero was my project, I probably have at least 3 or 4 different covers from 3 or 4 of your buddies. You know what I mean? And I would even have like a Niobe crossover variant cover. Just saying. No, I'm kidding. You know what I mean?
No, dude, no. That's something that's been being kicked around. It's like now a lot of folks are talking about, again, on the twatters. They've been talking about the potential of crossovers and stuff like that. And of course, they started including like big name properties, and I'm like, no, dude. If you want to do a crossover with a big name property, you have to hang with that big name property. You have not like hang out, but financially. Monetary value of your intellectual property wise, you have to be able to kick it. You know, in order to hang out at the Snooty Rich Persons Club, you have to be a snooty rich person. Well, you don't have to be snooty, but you at least have to be a rich person.
You gotta bring something to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't be riding coattails. Riding coattails is just bad form. It's okay to hold someone's coattails, but it is not okay to ride their coattails. Go get
now,
your
when
own.
I say crossover, I don't mean like in the store. I just mean on the cover. Like, say you and Manny are really good friends, so you do like one special cover that has like Skunk Girl on there just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, and speaking of Manny, the link to we have gone live while we were talking.
Yeah, I actually signed up. I actually signed. You're the first fucking IndieGoGo like news, like pre-launch page I've ever signed up for.
Well, thank you. I'm honored, sir.
So I've already signed up, and I'm waiting to get my emails now. Yes, sir.
And for that, for the sign up. Oh, dude, thank you, Trusty Psychic. He signed up as well. Yeah, for the sign-up bonus, we're going to have an exclusive trading card from Manny Correa, the artist, writer, creator of the Unbreathable Skunk Girl. And I'm really excited for that. That really that floats my boat that he agreed to that, and that makes me super duper happy. I'm going to have a selection of characters that he can choose from that show up in the book. I hope he picks Scalpel Zero, but I'm playing a little bit of a game here. We're having fun. It's granted, I am dead serious on delivering a top quality product, but for the people involved, we're having a little fun. We're gonna play some games here, and I want them to pick the character that they like the design of, that they feel like is the kind of the coolest, and I want them to do. And it is on a what do you call there is a schedule for who gets to first, and like sorry folks, Vic King already picked Scalpel Zero. He's going to be doing a trading card for the campaign, and I like the trading cards. People like trading cards. I like the trading cards because they have a pretty decent market value compared to production cost, and that's something that I've looked into. Is like giving people more bang for their buck, right? So I've been shopping diligently, and talking to printers and people who make all sorts of types of merchandise and figuring out, okay, so what can I get for a low price that has a high price tag, and I can save enough money off of that and help mitigate the cost of the comic. Because like you were saying, dude, that comic is going to be your big expense. Profit margin to cover price, your profit margin on that is going to be tiny. It's going to be small. If you're offering like a reasonable deal, it's not going to be it's not going to be
You're right. Your money doesn't come from the base book. It comes from all the extra stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whether that be the cards, the prints, the t-shirts, the bookmarks, the variant covers is where the most of your money comes from. Like, because you charge an extra amount for that and it costs the same amount. I can't keep drilling that into people's heads, but that's how it works. That's where your money comes from. Because it is very expensive to print and ship. And if you're only getting $2 or $3 per book that you sell, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you might, say raise $5,000, but if it costs you $4,000 to print it and ship it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That number, all of a sudden, that number doesn't look as good anymore.
Well, especially since I'm going to have 2 flat rates for shipping. There's going to be international, and there's going to be U.S. domestic. And like the U.S. domestic, and that can cover shipping and handling. So that has to cover the amount that I'm paying out to the people who are going to be packing this stuff, for their time, and which I have to at least meet legal standards of a minimum wage, even though it is piecemeal work. They will be being paid per piece. And by law, I have to give them a quota that meets minimum wage standards, but still falls within reason because nobody wants to get sued. Although the people I have doing this aren't going to sue me because, they're teenagers and they're my family. So I forget which rule of acquisition that's from, but yeah, there's a rule of acquisition there.
It's all about that gold press latinum, man.
It is all about the GPL. It's all about that GPL.
So Tank, I'm going to share something on your screen. I'm just going to chill for a quick second, if you don't mind.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get I'm going to add some old metalhead here in a little bit when you.
I add him now. I'll bring him on now.
All right. Let me add him to the stream. I'm adding your thing to the stream, and I'm going to showcase you. There we go. I'm getting the hang of this. Look at that. That is, dude, I love rags so much.
So when we talk about crossovers, and hanging at the big kids table, I certainly am not hanging at the big kids table yet. I'm just lucky that these guys were willing to even work with me at all. But this here is done by the Rags artist Luigi Terrell. If you guys follow Brian Ball and the Rags team on Twitter, you know exactly who he is. And this is going to be the side project called Sailor Ragoski, which is basically alternate timeline Rags. This book has nothing to do with zombies. This is all about like anime monsters and anime chicks fucking kicking ass, right? But this cover here is from my own book. So I'm relaunching my book on IndieGoGo probably in a week or two. I haven't picked a date yet, but once we have okay, so here's the deal. Not only can you get this cover, but Luigi from Rags is also doing a second cover. He's working on it right now that will be exclusive to IndieGoGo, meaning I won't sell it anywhere else unless if you come to me directly. Like you won't be able to go to Kickstarter and buy it or whatever, only on IndieGoGo. This cover here that we're looking at, I'll make that available everywhere. But there's going to be a special cover for IndieGoGo, okay? And this is going to be the second chance campaign. So if you missed out on my book and you still want to get a copy of Niobe, it is possible. You can either go to the web store and do it, or you can get this special cover or the other cover that is coming within a couple of weeks, and I'll be launching live, and hopefully Tank will have me back and we can chat about that, But I think this cover is absolutely stellar. This is what I'm talking about. Like, when we're talking about crossover covers, there's Niobe, there's Regina, and there's going to be a flip version of this cover. So Brian told me that he's going to have this cover redone, and it's going to be, Regina in front and Niobe got in her back, and that will be available on future issue of Rags or Sailor Ragoski.
Oh, so cool.
And then, of course, I got to talk about the Punchline cover, Tank.
All right, go right ahead, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. So again, this is coming back to hanging out with people in the community, getting to know people, and sharing a little bit of like we see a lot of drama lately. We see a lot of negativity. We see a lot of just some foolish shit going down. And seemingly on a daily basis. And while that works for some people, it doesn't work for me. Outrage culture never has led me to extra sales. I mean, it might for someone, but it doesn't work for me. But what does work for me is just hanging out with like people that I admire in the industry. And Matt Weldon happens to be one of them. Matt Weldon and Bill Williams of the Punchline book has done everyone a solid favor here. Now, Tank, I believe you're in this too, aren't you?
Yeah, dude. Scalpel Zero's there hanging out in the back, literally. And I'm like, dude, that is so cool, man. Oh,
yeah. This is crazy, right? And so me and you, we're on the same cover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not only are me and you on the same cover, me, you, and Booster Kiwi are on the same cover.
We're in good company.
Man, we're in lots of good company. Look, you got the crew from Ninja High School, like Ben Dunn's characters are there.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tim Lim's character, Common America. You got the Punchline Girl. You got Rags. You got the Operator. You got Niobe hanging right behind him. Like, I'm surprised I got on the front cover. I thought I would be, I thought I'd be in the back too, right? I thought, and I would have been happy with that, Tank. If I was just like a little person peeping over someone's shoulder and you can barely see her, dude, I would have been fucking ecstatic. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think he did a gorgeous looking Niobe there. Like after I saw this dude, I contacted him, right? And sometimes Matt Weldon doesn't answer right away. And so I contacted him and he never answered me. And then like a week and a half kind of went by. Then he answered me back. He's like, yeah, sure. I'd love to do a cover. When do you need it by? So I can tell you for the Niobe Birthright #2 Kickstarter, it looks like we're going to have a Matt Weldon cover.
Oh, dude. That is incredible. That's so exciting.
Now, what's really cool about this cover, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're a fan of Tanks, if you're a fan of mine, if you're just our friend, you know what I mean? Or a friend with anyone else's whose character's on here, like Pineapple Man's on here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know who all the characters are, Tank, to be honest with you. I'm sure you probably know more of them than I do. But if you're a fan of any of these at all, here's the great news is that this book is going to be available at comic book shops, right? This isn't just like a sketch cover being done for fun. This is going to be an actual cover of the book. And I asked Matt, I said, will people be able to buy this in shops? And he said, yes. So this is going to be in color. It's going to be in shops. It's Punchline #15 and it's due out. He said to me, like, depending on, how things go with the Rona and all that stuff. Right. But basically it's due out either in December or January. And it's Punchline #15 that you folks are looking for. So buy them up. And if you ever happen to run into a Tank or myself or anyone else that's on this cover, get us to sign these puppies, man, because we're really proud of this. We're really excited about this. And, this is, to me, just the first of many great things to come for not only Tank and myself, but for others in the future.
Oh, dude, it's I like seriously, like I ain't gonna lie, I got a little choked up when I saw that.
Yeah, me too, brother.
I was just like, holy smokes! I see when people say they go with people on the internet, like, what should I draw? Of course, I shamelessly plug my character and be like, hey, so you should draw this character. And I honestly, I never expected it. I never expected it because. Matthew Weldon, we've had some pleasant interactions, but that's just about it. Some pleasant interactions on social media. And, I've shared out the Punchline stuff, but that's because I like to share comics that I think, are going to bring something to the table. They're fun. There is an audience for them that will pay money for that, I want to see comics grow. I think it's a unique storytelling method that can do things that can't do anywhere else. And I'm still kind of like, holy smokes, man, that is just so cool.
Now, before we forget, Tank, because we had a lot of news there, but we have some old metalhead here with us, live in the flesh. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing great. I just didn't want to interrupt while you were shilling, so.
Well, it's all part of the business, right? We got to learn how to shill, so we practice up, man. Shill to us now, metalhead. Shill to us.
That's where I struggle the most, shilling my product. But I've been trying to do better. Yeah, so Thrasher's issue 1 is complete. Issue 2 is about 50% done, and that's what you're going to see on the Kickstarter campaign is issue 1 and 2. Jose Pares drew the first issue. I got another artist for the second issue, Nico Valdez. It's a heavy metal story based in the 80s. Group of kids going to a concert, and aliens invade. That's the first issue. And then issue number 2, there's a alternate group of Army Rangers, 2 that are dealing with the same situation, and in issue 3 that kind of mesh together to fight off the aliens. So
that's exciting.
The first story arc is going to be 4 issues, and I'm hoping to get all those out to everybody before the end of the year. So I'm pushing my artist hard, not too hard, but I don't want to rush. I want good art, but I do try and give them a flexible deadline to a certain degree, not months, but a month or a week or so. And
Nice.
been working on the Kickstarter campaign on the campaign page about a month. Some of the black and white pictures that are on there are going to be colored and lettered, so you get a couple pages of each issue that you can kind of see what the books are going to look like. And been looking into probably about 2 or 3 printers out of state, and about 4 or 5 here in Texas that I want to go with. Kind of like Tank, I want to keep things local as much as I possibly can. Contribute to my local economy as much as I can.
That's right.
Been commissioning pinups and all kinds of other.
Man, I tell you, those cheesecake pinups that you got going on, they are they're something else, man. I like them. You here? Am I here? Can you hear me? Did I lose the internet? Oh, is anybody there? Am I all alone? Am I all alone now? Nope. Says I have internet access. You guys still there? Hello?
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, apparently so. Okay. Apparently my internet had done a hiccup. So I apologize to everybody out there. Please go on.
But yeah, so just getting everything together. A lot of pinups. Like I said, I got Illustrator Monk to do a nice little pinup for me. Guy that I found on Facebook called Paul Ketz did some pinups for me. I've already talked to Tank about maybe doing another cover for issue number 2. Just a lot of exciting things going on, and getting excited to get the Kickstarter launch, which will probably be the first part of June. I'm just waiting for this COVID thing to kind of settle down a little bit and see people getting back to work, and want to be able to present it to as many people as possible that can back the book. So
I hear that, and I love your choice of going with local business. One of my mantras is that the a healthy microeconomy leads to a healthier macroeconomy.
Yeah, definitely. And I've looked for some local Texas artists, and found a couple, and I may, if depending on how the campaign goes, I may get them to do some art for the campaign. But that's down the road. So
I dig it. That's really awesome to hear, man. That is way awesome to hear.
It's going good. I after my second campaign failed, I got a little discouraged. I was a little down in the dumps, so I just kind of dropped off of the internet for a little while, off of Twitter and stuff. But I didn't stop producing the book. Finished issue 1 up, and got issue 2 going. So I want to make sure that when the campaign and Kickstarter launches, that both books are ready. And once the campaign comes to an end, ship it off or send it off to the printers and have those books in people's hands as soon as possible.
Outstanding, man. That is so good to hear. I'm happy you didn't throw in the towel.
Yeah, I had a couple people talk me off the ledge.
Good.
Yeah, I was ready to do it, to say, you know what, but I said, you know what, I'm just, you know, this is just, you know, this is just a hobby for me. I want to have it be a hobby. I want it to be fun, and I think I was, you know, for me, I was taking it too serious. And when I take my personality, when I take things too serious and they don't come to fruition, I get down in the dumps. So I just had to take a step back and go, okay, I'm just doing this. This is my hobby. I'm doing this for fun, something I always wanted to do. I don't need the, you know, this isn't something that is my main source of income. So I need to take a step back.
Well, that's a good thing, because this is comic books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have the talent of like Tank does to be able to draw and, you know, and you know, get some good money for commissions here and there and stuff, you know. And you know, just speaking on personal terms, when I write my script out, if I want something detailed, I'll put that on the page. But most of the time, I just give borderlines of what I want on the page and let the artist do it, and then they'll send me, you know, a layout, and I'll say yes or no. And so so my scripts aren't really overly detailed in any way, shape, or form. And when I send them off to the artist, they're mostly just pretty rough drafts with no dialogue in them. So, you know, as far as making money off even being a writer of any type of sorts, you know, if like I said, if Thrasher's it gets going and all that other stuff, I've got stuff in the pipeline that I got developing too, and that's going to come out, you know, hopefully at the end of the year as well. So we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Well,
Larry,
it's
you
good
got
that you taken the attitude of it like as a passion project, as opposed to something to potentially make money from. I mean, if you make money from it, that's cool and that's a bonus. But a lot of people get in this world of comic books with wrong expectations. If you're not an artist, it is expensive because you have to pay for those wonderful people to, you know, to do all that, right? If you're an artist and you're doing your own comic book, you got the battle half in the bag. You just saved yourself about $3,000. You know what I mean? But if you're a guy like us that just writes, it can be discouraging if you put your heart and soul into it, put a bunch of money into it, and then it fails. You know, I've had that happen to me once. When I did my second issue of Niobe, the Kickstarter wasn't going to make it, dude. I just knew it wasn't going to make it, so I pulled it down, left it alone for a month, revamped it, and came back and then got funded. And I'm glad to see that you're still, kicking ass and trucking along, because you're one of those guys who I thought, maybe we won't see him again. You know what I mean? But here you are, and you're still pushing and you're still trying. And that shows to me that you have a dedication. And that is one of the keys to success in this industry is if you have an idea and you strongly believe in it, not to let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm at the point right now that I feel pretty good about this campaign. The first two that I did, I was just kind of like, I'm new to this. I was, kind of just like throwing stuff out there and see what stuck, so to speak. But I've gotten a lot of input from other guys that have run campaigns for the last year. I feel really confident about this one. But worst case scenario, if it doesn't get funded, I have enough money to print off X amount of issues, and I'm just going to put that on through a web page I'm developing and create an Etsy store and put it up for sale there. I'm working on different variables of everything that I could do just to get this book out there in people's hands. And, and that's just, that was part of my therapy once I started getting down, is even if this doesn't go through as far as Kickstarter or IndieGoGo goes, how do I get my book to where people can purchase it if they want to? And that was just part of looking into the Etsy store. So
nice. Smart.
Smart, desperation. I don't know what it is.
No, you definitely want to, and this is something that I fail to do, is you want to capitalize on as many fronts as absolutely possible. It's like yogurt from Spaceballs said, merchandising, merchandising.
Exactly.
And that's where, that's where these endeavors do make their money.
Mhm.
Because these are, when it comes to merchandising, especially if you can get yourself a really good deal on a quality product, that's where your big profit margin is actually going to come from.
Mhm.
Because books, like once you figure in to the how much it costs to print and ship and all this other fun stuff, like Larry was saying, is like it's not a moneymaker.
Mm-mm. No, I'm at the point now that I've been keeping, every time I pay an artist, I have a little spreadsheet and I put down in there, and I was going over just how much I'd spent on issue 1 and issue 2 and pinups and all these other projects that I got going on, and I went, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was recommended to me. Like, my mother was saying, do you know how much you spent on all this? And I'm like, well, I got a rough idea. She's like, but you got it all like laid out, essentially in a spreadsheet. I'm like, no. I said, I'm afraid to do that. I'm actually afraid to know the real answer to that,
Yeah. I did it because my wife was going, I just paid this artist. How much did you pay him? Well, I just paid this guy to do this and this guy to do that. And she's like, how much money are you spending? So I said, okay, let's sit down. Let's do a spreadsheet. And she was like, oh, that's not too bad. And I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of money. So not too bad. I was a relief off my shoulder. So.
Well, okay, so here's the question then, guys, that I posed to you. When is too much? Like, when is it at the point where, like, you know what, you look at the bills, you look at the money you spent, you look at the spreadsheet and you go, oh my God, I didn't realize I spent this much, Is there a point where we as creators go, you know what, maybe this doesn't fly and I spent too much, and just for my own financial stability, I got to back off and maybe not do this, or do you keep pushing, or because sometimes, man, we can overspend and never recoup that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gets to a point where one should stop spending money on the project itself and go spend money on someone who is an expert in marketing to help you recoup that money. And when you hit that point, that should be the that should be the point of, should I give this up? You should do that anyways once you have the cash, but you're like, I don't want to give up on this, but I'm afraid that I can't recoup my losses. There's people out there that can turn feces into gold.
Whoa. Shabby says, I'm pretty sure I take it too seriously as well. He said, but at this point, I've invested too much not to do so. Yeah.
I look at it as, I'm spending the money, but I'm getting something in return. I'm getting artwork in return. So I don't, as a complete, it's an investment. Like Tank was saying earlier, I'm investing in this stuff. And even if I don't get all my products in somebody's hands, I have something there that I can go, hey, look, I tried. I did my best. I tried to get this in people's hands, and, and go from there. But as far as, I'm at the point now to where I know how much money I want to spend to get this done. And I'm getting close to that. So,
well, here's the great thing is, if you actually get it done, right, you may not recoup your money right away, but at least now you have a product in your hands that even if it's next year or the year after, you know what I mean? You can always sell that book at shows. You can always put that on a web store. You can always throw them up on eBay, Amazon, whatever you have. Now that you have a product that, every time I sell an IOB book now, that is money that comes back into my pocket that I have spent. Every $5 or $10 sale, that's $5 or $10 that I invested, that's now coming back to me. So absolutely,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we got going on in the chat. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so you caught up on the chat. You're all good.
I'm a pro, Tank. I'm used to this. Not my first rodeo, brother.
It's true. No, I watch your show, and like you and like Adam Post and John Malin, I pay attention to you guys because you guys got this. You got it down.
Well, I would love to be like reading out super chats and stuff, but I mean, I'm not even at 500 subs yet, so I read out pretty much everything as long as it's not too over the top. You know what I mean?
Oh, I dig it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw the link to the IndieGoGo back into the chat again, and then I'm going to follow that up with a link to come up here onto the panel with everybody. Come hang out. Come talk about comics you like. Are there any projects you're looking at? Anything that you're looking that you have? It doesn't matter. We like to keep it positive over here at Tank Ferret. We like to talk about the positive stuff. We like to talk about the comics we like. There is a no drama policy. If there's drama going on in somewhere in some social media, please leave it there.
Exactly.
That's all I ask. I just ask you leave it there and just come over here, hang out, have some fun. Comics are supposed to be fun, and I want to communicate that. My audience who does show up, they even though sometimes they get into some of the fights that go on Twitter and stuff, this is their respite. This is their safe harbor from that stuff. This is where people of all the different sides, all the little factions and stuff that exist in comics can come together. They can talk about the positive aspects of their faction without fear of reprisal or getting into a heated debate or argument. We can just talk about, all the cool, awesome projects that are coming out. And there are so many, man. I mean, I am so happy. A couple of years ago, I was very worried for comics. I'll be honest. I thought that, geez, man, this is a niche market that's getting more and more niche. The big publishers are alienating their existing demographics, and they're failing to pull in new demographics as much as they tried to, as much as, not for a lack of trying, but their placation is not customer satisfaction, and tokenism is not representation. I'm just going to say that.
No, but he is one of my favorite characters in South Park.
Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, folks. Bad jokes like that.
Yeah, I like Token. You ever play Magic the Gathering?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Dude, yeah.
So in Magic the Gathering, you can summon these things called tokens. They're just 1/1 creatures that do shit, right? And so you used to display your tokens with beads. Well, I had a print out picture of Token from South Park on all my cards, all on the back of my cards, and those are my tokens.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it was great.
That is
I'm gonna put out my 1/1 token. I would slap down Token from South Park, and away we went, man.
I love that stuff, man. I love a good bad joke.
That'd probably get me banned now from Magic, but I mean, at the time, it was funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, I am super excited. I'm kind of at a loss for words today. I've had 4 hours of sleep in anticipation of today's event.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is my first crowdfunder. And so I'm taking advice from a lot of people, and I'm not discounting any advice. I may not follow some of those advices because my research may show something different, but I'm not going to discount any advice anybody gives me for this stuff. I am good at business.
The only thing that the only person that's going to know what's right for their project is you, brother. You know what I mean?
It's true. And ultimately, I have to heed my own counsel. Yeah,
what works for me may not work for you, but you're in a great position now where you just hung out with all sorts of people for the last couple of years, whether it be on live streams, Twitter, in person, what have you, and you've seen all these campaigns come up. You've seen what works. You've seen what hasn't. So it's almost like you've gotten the experience without actually having to do it yourself yet. You know what I mean? So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A person learns best from their mistakes, or I should say, a person learns best from mistakes. Take away a person's ability to make mistakes, you take away their ability to learn. And I've learned from a lot of other people's mistakes and what actions that they learned that they can do to mitigate those mistakes and come back stronger, more powerful than ever before. And I pay attention to this stuff. And some of these folks, they've got a name. They've got a history. And some of these folks, they just come out of nowhere. I mean, I swear.
Well, the world's a big place, you know. Like you think you know everyone in comics, and you don't. You know, every time I turn on the Twitter or Facebook, there's always some new art that's flashing before my eyes. I go, "Oh my god, that's awesome! I've never heard of that person before." You know what I mean? Or a new comic book that shows up out of the blue, and you're like, "Fuck, that looks cool! Never heard of that before either." You know, there's so many people that are doing this now. Shabby says stats from 2019 actually show that comics went up in the Czech Republic, more units sold, more cash spent. We are graphic novel purists, though no single issues here.
Okay. You see, Shabby and I have been talking about that behind the scenes too. Shabby shared with me some wonderful spreadsheets, and that information is gold. Oh, I eat that stuff up. Market reports. That stuff is delicious. Nom, 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 nom. And so when I know that when I want to appeal, and you know, as it turns out, those stats in the Czech Republic are indicative of the European market. They want their graphic novels. They want their collected trade paperbacks. You know.
I would also say that's probably a financial thing, right? Like if you're paying $5 or $6 for a 24-page floppy, but you can get like the whole thing, like 5 or 6 issues for like $14, you know what I mean? And you get the whole story. Like this is why a lot of people read trades now. A lot of people used to buy comic books because they thought comic books would be worth money. And they realized that only very few comic books are actually worth anything. You know what I mean? It pretty much has to be a first appearance of someone at this point for it to be worth anything, or a very high sought after variant. So people got tired of paying, you know, these ludicrous amounts for a single issue, and decided that, you know, if they're, you know, just a reader, right, not a collector, but a reader, you know, readers like the trades because they get more bang for their buck.
Yeah. And I am one of those people that buys trades. I haven't bought an individual issue of any Marvel or DC comics since 1997. I was early on the train of, you know, the big two. I don't like them. Although I have bought trades. I bought the whole Civil War, the Civil War, loved it. Unfortunately, Marvel decided to screw that pooch and retcon everything essentially. But I love that one. I got Flashpoint, Son of Bat, and a few others. And they've had varied results, but I'll take a risk on a trade more than I would an individual floppy. I'm one of those.
Well, I'm from the pre-trade generation, so you had to pick up single issues when I was collecting comics.
Oh, same here. I'm not as old as you, Mr. Metalhead, but we are of the same generation.
Yeah.
Now you see, I'm opposite of that. I have trades, but they just come by me somehow. Like, you know what I mean? Like either I'll see them really cheap, I'll pick one up, or someone will gift it to me for Christmas or something like that. But I'm a single issue guy. I got like 12 long boxes full of single issues, and this started, I guess, back in 2008. You know, this is my second collection that I've had. Most of them are worth nothing. Right. Most of them will never be worth any more than cover price. But I'm starting to become like a better comic book shopper now, in the sense of like, if I know a comic book is going to be worth money, I'll be a fool to pass it up if I can get it for $5. You know, I sold a Greg Land Spider-Gwen variant, her first appearance as Spider-Gwen, for $1,000 to help fund the latest Niobe. You know what I mean? And nice. I picked up that book for $20, but that's how bad it shot up. So once in a while, you know, like even if it's a book that you don't read or don't collect, if you're looking to make a flip, right, and maybe help fund something, you know, comic books are a way to do that. But you have to know what you're doing. And you have to know what you're talking about. You know, graded books sell for massive amounts on eBay. You know what I mean? Original art on a blank sells for massive amounts on eBay. You know, first appearances are really the way to go, though. So if you know like a new Batman character's coming out, pick up the book. Maybe pick up 2 copies, 3 copies. You know what I mean? That Batwang book, you know what I mean? I picked up for like $12. The last time I checked, it was going for $70, $80 on eBay. You know what I mean?
Wow. Well, yeah, it was one of those decisions that, much like Selena Kyle, regretted the morning after. DC regretted it.
I just find I'm much more inclined to pick up some trades from the shelf and read them rather than going through boxes and read it issue by issue. Yeah, some people want to wait. It's like binge watching. Like this, let's bring this to TV, right? So like some people want to watch The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, but they don't want to watch it every week. They don't want to wait. So what they do is they wait until the entire series is done or the entire season is done. Then what they go do, Tank? They go binge watch it, right? And they get that fix in all at once. That's what a trade paperback is for comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm drawing.
No, that's all right. That's why I'm here yapping. Shabby says, I actually have that Batwang signed. Brian wanted $25 for it as well. Yeah, it's worth more than $25 now. You know what I mean? Now, I would have to go back and check and see what the ongoing price is right now. But sometimes books are hot for a while and they shoot up in value, and a couple months later, they'll drop down. So that's the other thing. If you are going to get into the world of selling comic books, like there's lots of auctions going on right now. There's lots of Instagram sales. There's lots of Facebook sales. But you got to know what's hot and what's not and capitalize on it when it is hot.
Yeah. You have to be paying attention to the market. Just like stocks, you got to pay attention to the market. You got to read the trades. You have to read all the articles and see, how that, if that book comes up, is it negative? Is it positive? In terms of, attention for the book. If it gets a bad review because it's poorly done, then oof, you're going to have to hold on to that. Comics, I tell people, like, comics are not a good retirement plan unless you're purchasing for your grandchildren to retire.
Now, Shabby says he's just happy to have a first appearance of a Bat family member. First appearance of the Batwang. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That's what it's all about, folks. I mean, I got a few first appearances. I got the first appearance of Black Cat. I got the first appearance of Phoenix. I got the first appearance of Red Sonja. I got the first appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde. I got the first appearance of Dazzler, the first appearance of Rogue. I got a decent amount of what we would call key issue comics. You know what I mean? There are some that I still don't have that are like holy grails to me, like Giant Size X-Men. Like that is probably a book I'll never own, but that would be like a holy grail to me, But yeah. And sometimes, you just really have to look for good deals on these books. I picked up the Black Cat. That's Spider-Man 194, by the way, for those that are interested. I got it for $24, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I can tell you it goes for a lot more than that now. And the other cool thing is about being in the indies. Like, let's say you are in the indies and your book has some sort of steam. And I'm not saying that mine does, but I'm saying that mine could, right? So I have Paul Green, who's, I say famous. I mean, he's not famous, but he's well known in the comic book circles. He's got a style. He's a professional, and he's done work for Zenoscope Comics, Grim Fairy Tales, and stuff like that. And people go after his books, his covers in particular, not because they're comic book readers, but because they're comic book collectors and they like his artwork, right? So it'd be like someone who's really into Michael Turner or J. Scott Campbell or something like that. And so I get people hit me up now saying, "Hey, I heard Paul Green did your cover for Niobe. How big was the print run?" And do you know why they're asking that, Tank?
Because they want to know what the collector's value is.
Right. So they go, this is going to be, oh, you only printed 200 of these covers? That's got to be the rarest fucking Paul Green cover out there. And that all of a sudden means it now has value and is now worth money.
Yeah. Well, like with this prologue to Retribution, I'm still deciding how many copies I'm going to print and when I'm cutting it off, because I want it to have the first print to have a long-term value. Because I market survey and in my general intuition says that Scalpel Zero is going to be a good property. Her story is a good one. I'm still kind of wording things very carefully because there are spoilers that I could accidentally let slip out. These spoilers wouldn't ruin the story, but come on now, we all like a good surprise, right? but I definitely want to limit the print run. Probably no more than 250 of the first issue, like real limited print run.
Well, you know, we're in a position where we're selling 250 issues and we're doing good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're starting off in crowdfunding, you know, it's your first book, and you know, let's say you know you make $3,000 or $4,000 doing it, you're probably only printing about 300 to 400 books if you're lucky. You know, but by the time you're printing out 1,000 books or more, you need to be making 5 figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and another thing that I considered was that once fulfillment is done, because you overprint, right? You got to overprint because sometimes a print comes out bad, sometimes something gets lost or damaged in the mail, and so you have to overprint because they're investors, and if you got to eat it a little bit to make sure that this investor gets what they paid for, then you eat it.
I had to eat one yesterday, dude. I had one package show up a little bit damaged, and I replaced it right away. I had to eat that cost, man. But that's what you got to do.
And I'm thinking of taking the overprint once fulfillment is complete. I was actually thinking of even taking the overprint and burning it live.
No, don't burn it live. You put it up on a web store and you fucking sell the rest of those because that's getting your money back.
Well, the reason why I was thinking of burning it live was to ensure the value of and the exclusivity of those who invested in, because I have a couple.
Well, the way you do that is you just don't print anymore. You say, hey, I made this X amount of copies. This is what I have for sale. This is what I moved on the crowdfunding campaign. This is what I got left. And once they're gone, they're gone, you know?
Well, yeah, like I said, this is just something that I'm considering of throwing around, and we'll see how the market responds to that. That might garner more people investing in on the first run in order not to miss out on a first print. It might just be stupid.
Well, the thing about print on demand is it's always a first print, right? I mean, the thing with print on demand is that you can just go get the books made whenever. You know, I can say that Niobe #1, you know, is first printing. But the truth is I can have that first printing made anytime I want, even to this day, and that book is 6 years old.
Well, I forget what it's called. All the little, all that specific little wording down at the bottom of the comic, you know, that it has all the.
Yeah, that's if you include. It's called an indicia or dentia, or a disclaimer, right?
That will be included. I've already talked to the printer about that. That it will be significantly marked as, you know, first printing date and so on and so forth. That will be there in the book.
Chabby says, I wanted to do a thing where we sell the book for as little as possible, and I'm going to be upfront about it and try and make my money on the sketch tier. I'm going to do like 25 sketches and sell those.
Yeah, that's going to be my moneymaker, by the way, is the original art tiers. The original art tiers, and there's going to be 2 auctions to get yourself drawn into the book. There are 2 opportunities to get yourself drawn in the book in a significant manner. One of which is you get to be one of the people supplying Scalpel Zero with her information as she does her little detective work. And the other one is that you get to be one of these cyber gangers like Senior Claw here, and you get to be brutally murdered.
Yes.
Red rum.
Exactly. I'll have to
Again?
That would be my claim to fame in comic getting murdered in Zero.
Well, it is funny. I joke with this one guy he's made a point to get himself drawn into a lot of books, and I made a joke with him. I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're doing that whole Jet Li the One. You're removing all your multiverse selves so you can become more powerful. I'm on to you. It's hilarious. But yeah, there's a couple opportunities for people to get themselves drawn into the book, and you know, I will work with those people. You know, we'll cyberpunk them. I've got a couple people in the community making cameos, and to encourage the multiverse. I've been talking to creators and stuff like, hey, can I sneak a cameo of your character in there? Let's talk about, this is the multiverse, so there's no superheroes or superpowers or any real fantasy elements in this, because this is a science fiction. It's not a hard science fiction, but it's still science fiction. It's sciencey. I try not to break the laws of physics too much. But trying to sneak people in like Niobe, right? Concert, like you can see. Hold on. Got her cameo right here. She's hiding right behind Scalpel Zero. Get that into the light where people can see. Yeah, see a little concert. She's in this universe. She's a superstar, and she has a cartoon where she has superpowers, and she's totally like friendly for kids, and it's a fun family type of deal, and it's fun because I want to do multiverse crossovers, and I want the character from the original creator's universe to come meet their counterpart if it exists, and kind of have like a comment like, what would that interaction be? What would the interaction of Niobe concert star superhero be with Niobe concert star human being? Where would they differ, like mentally, socially? The difference in that. And I like to work with the creators to kind of sneak them in a little bit. And it starts off with cameos, but I've got a greater plan here.
All right, Tank, I'm going to have to bounce here in a couple minutes, but it's okay if I chill just for a minute here.
Yeah, brother. Thank you very much for joining me. Go ahead and chill. Give us drop a link in the chat so that people can go check out your stuff, your social media. So please chill away.
All right. Coming to Kickstarter in June, early June. Thrashers issue 1 and 2. Heavy metal story from the 1980s. Aliens invade Earth, and a group of headbangers and last members of a platoon troop meet up and try and save the Earth from this. It's going to be an ongoing series. Hopefully have issue 1 through 4 out by the end of the year. And then maybe I'll do a trade as far as that goes. I got other stuff in the work through my Chromosome 21 Comics imprint. It's it's going to be a superhero book called Gene.exe. Basically, genetically modified human beings. A little superhero book there. And I got another one that's Metal Melee. That's almost done. It's another alien type comic book. And next year I've got going to be opening up art for Posers and Metal Ops. And I'm going to leave it at that. Those stories aren't completely worked out yet. You can get a hold of me at Twitter at sguy1968. I'm on Instagram, some old guy. And I'm on Facebook, Chromosome 21 Comics. And for those YouTubers, I do have a YouTube channel. I just started putting videos out. They're pretty lame, but they're just informative videos of where I'm coming from and what I'm getting ready to put out here. And that's at Some Old Metalhead 1968 as well. I just checked on your package, Tank, and it's supposed to be here today. So if it comes today, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to open it up, show everybody, and I'll post that on YouTube later on today. So,
thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. I appreciate you letting me on, and appreciate all the work you did for me. And like I said, I'm probably going to hit you up maybe in a month or so to do a variant cover for issue number 2.
Ooh, that's exciting. I'm excited. Yeah, you can go ahead and start feeding me that reference material.
Yeah.
As soon as you have it, because the longer I have to noodle on it, the better the idea I come up with.
Will do, brother. Will do.
All right, brother. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm super happy.
Yeah, I'm heading out too, brother.
All right.
Shower and then do a game stream, and then I gotta go to work.
That sounds like a plan.
But I can tell anyone out there that is backed Niobe, all of it's been mailed now. Everything's been mailed. I finished that up just a couple days ago. So if you're waiting on your package, it's certainly on its way. If you don't have it in 2 or 3 weeks, give it at least that amount due to the Rona. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then if you don't have it, then then get at me. I had someone message me the other day. I'm like, yeah, no, I think your your package was like one of the last ones to go out. So give it a couple of weeks. Be patient. You know what I mean? I call everyone brother, man. Shabby says all brothers, huh? I'm like Hulk Hogan. Hey brother.
Yeah, brother.
Or Roro. You know, he calls everyone brothers too.
It's true.
It's true. But if you want to buy Niobe, you can. I have a web store now. I made 4 sales since opening it up last week, so that's like right there, $100 that's come back to me. You know, minus the shipping, right? But yeah. So I mean, it never hurts to have a web store for your shit. Whether people use it or not, at least it's an option. Because I get people asking me all the time, "How can I get your book?" Right? It always happens at when a campaign is over. You know, they hear about it a week later and they missed out, and so now I could just pop them a link and there you go. You know. Rebel Comics and Gaming is my YouTube channel. That's where you can find all the schemes and scams, shame and shenanigans. Right there. Generally, it's just a group of guys usually that just play a bunch of fighting games or Overwatch or something, and be like, what it'd be like to hang out with us in the living room, drinking a few beers, playing some video games is kind of how I describe it. But every now and then I do the comic book thing and I bring on comic book guests, and of course this man is an invited guest.
Thank you, sir.
So it's the metal guy if he wants to come on again, and we'll talk all about Scalpel Zero. I really want to bring you on when you go live. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Other than that, thanks for having me on. IndieGoGo coming up in a week or two for the Second Chance campaign with the Luigi Terrell covers, and then late summer, probably late July, will be the Kickstarter for Niobe Birthright Part 2, and we already have all the covers done by that. So Simir, the interior artist, has done a cover. We have a cover by Steph Wilson. Paul Green is working on another cover. CB Zane of Into the Suck has done a cover. And I'm looking at Matt Weldon. We haven't ironed it out yet, but he's doing some sketches and shit. And pretty sure there'll be a Matt Weldon cover on Birthright Part 2. So that's that's the exciting news for me. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, that is so exciting. Niobe is. I've been watching, man, and I'm a big fan. That's how I met you, is I was a fan. And I bought a digital version of the first issue, and I fell in love with the character. I absolutely love the storyline. You're a great writer. I love your stories. I can't wait to read this one.
Shabby says Matt is super good. He is super good. Yeah. No, proud to be able to say that we're going to do something together, and proud to be on his book. I mean, Tank too.
Oh gosh, yeah. Humbled.
I mean, like, there's like these crew of indie chicks. They should just all hang out together. Be like, Niobe, Scalpel Zero, fucking Sugar, Skunk Girl. Bring in the girls from Antarctic Press.
Hell yeah, Punchline, Rags.
Yeah. Right. They could just all be like, like this like awesome team of chicks. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Yes,
it's cool. And like there's characters in this in the Sailor Rogoski book that Brian's doing, that Niobe's in, that I don't even know who the hell they are. I'm gonna learn about them from the first time. You know what I mean? So
Roger that.
So there
exciting.
You go. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thank you very much for coming up here, joining me, keeping me company.
Thank you very much for doing this video.
And you are always welcome anytime. Even if you're just going to hang out and chill for a couple of minutes, I always appreciate your company.
Yeah, well, today was just the right day where I just woke up early and felt like gabbing for a bit,
Nice. Outstanding, sir.
And it's been a little while since we had a conversation. I mean, once in a while I'll run into you in the off airs, but you know what I mean? It's good to jump live and just talk about what it is that we do,
Yeah, and just enjoy the comics, because they are good. And like, this harkens me back to the golden age of comics, with the variety of stories that you have available. Only I dare argue that this makes the golden age look like the chump age. And I like to harken it as to, this is the platinum age of comics we're coming into. This is a renaissance.
Well, it's kind of funny you bring up like the age of comics, like the golden age of comics. I was in the New York Warriors chat watching those guys do their thing. They're a great comic book channel, and they were talking about like the Silver Age, Bronze Age, Golden Age, and they're like, what age would this be? And they were kind of struggling to come up with a name. And I said, how about the Cyber Age? Or the digital age, right? Because it's kind of what it is. Or now we can even call it the Corona Age. Who knows?
The Coof Age.
Or we can call it the age of the indies, like the indie renaissance. Like, because here's the thing. I've noticed an increase in popularity of indie comics over the past couple of months due to a few reasons. Just one is it's just indie comics are starting to become a little bit more mainstream. Kickstarter and IndieGoGos are really making the rounds on all the social media now. So even the casual fans are starting to learn about what this stuff is, and that's good. With comic shops being closed down and people not publishing books, people are still looking for comic books to buy, and they're starting to look at us, which is great. Shabby has a really good one here. He's got the Rebirth Age. I don't know if DC will let us do that because they got Rebirth, but I like the name nonetheless. You know what I mean?
Roger that.
All right, brother. With that being said, I'm out because I'll just talk for another 20 minutes if I don't leave now.
No, well, thank you very much.
Oh, no worries. I'll probably, I'll just keep you on in the background here while I do my thing. But the piece you're working on looks awesome, man. And you just keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace. So definitely go check out Rebel Comics and Gaming. He does some incredible content. It's some good fun stuff. Definitely something worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out, especially if he's playing Final Fantasy VII Tifa Edition. Simping ain't easy. It's some good fun stuff. I am probably going to take a brief breather here in a few minutes, and but I'm not going to end the stream. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to put on a playlist, and I'm going to hand my monetization money over to Master Boot Record. I will have to make a note to retroactively put the link to the Bandcamp in the description, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the chat real quick so y'all can go check this out. Oh, look at that. It's the first thing I type in the first thing that pops up when I type in the word band. Yeah, let me copy that. Copy. We're going to go back on over here, and we are going to go ahead and paste. And please go check out Master Boot Record on Bandcamp with the new album, Floppy Disk Overdrive. Master Boot Record has been very kind to me, very, very kind to me. And we're fans of the cyberpunk, and they did the soundtrack for the upcoming Virtuoverse game. No, here's something I want to try and do. I want to kind of try and screen share some stuff. Maybe that's what I can do. I could pull up a good playlist. So you all, while I am taking a brief, I may have had a lot of caffeine to drink. So I might have to evacuate some unwanted business from my body in order to continue here. And I don't want to end this stream. I want to keep this going. But I want you to be entertained, not just sitting there going, gosh, and like, when's he coming back? He's been gone forever. It's just silence. And you know what? I'm going to go outside and go catch me some cove. That's more entertaining than this. God. Purge! What's up, the Ryan Cardinal? What's up, brother? How you doing? Oh, it's good to see you. It is good to see you. Fellow lover of all things manga and anime. If I can get there. Let's see here. I'm trying to get my fingers to work. Oh, Virtuaverse. Oh, there we go. We're gonna see if I can find. I'm gonna see. Hopefully, it doesn't start auto playing. Shush, no. I want to see what's on this. Okay. Ooh, Ooh. Okay, cool. Yeah, oh, this is a great little playlist. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing on this playlist here. There's a wonderful little playlist. It's a Virtuoverse playlist. I definitely want you guys to check this out. It's a point-and-click cyberpunk adventure coming from Theta Division Games. Man, I have saved the money. Like, it's coming out on the 15th and of this month, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be worth it. It's $15. $15. In most currencies, it comes out to about $15 US. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a game that's absolutely worth it. 4 years in development, point and click, fantastic artwork by Valenberg. If you don't know who that is, this is like, whenever you see some of that pixel art that's like animated and those GIFs that looks just incredible and it's cyberpunk, it's probably Valenberg. I mean, this person is on it. Like, my favorite pixel artist. Sorry, everyone else, but definitely, hands down, my favorite pixel artist. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna, because this is something that I have well, I've been waiting for and whatnot, but I got to see how to do this. So we're gonna do. Oh, I can only share screen. I can't just like share an application. Use Firefox. Gross. I'm not gonna use. Oh, I can use an application window. So, wait. Come on now. Oh, okay. I had it minimized, so it wasn't registering. Sorry. I'm boomering my way through this. But I'm gonna go take a quick potty break. I will be back in 10 minutes or so. So please go take a break. I'm gonna drop this link to the sign up page. Please go sign up. Please share it out on your social media too, as well. I don't know how that all works. I made unfortunately, I had to make a new IndieGoGo account for this, so that way later, when I do all the legal paperwork to have the corporation and transfer everything over and stuff, it all transfers over to the appropriate email accounts, and that way everything's all nice and neat and duck squared away. I've been talking to a couple of folks regarding that. So, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing there. So please enjoy the show. I will see you back here in a little bit. Let me make sure that everything is going according to plan here. I got to double check and kind of peek in on stuff. Let's see here. There we go. That's much better. And then, yep. Everything looks good. Alrighty, folks. I will see you here shortly. And if you're not here when I get back, then I do greatly thank you for joining me for this awesome time. I know I've been a bucket of nerves, but I had a couple of awesome people on today. And when I get back, I will be dropping that StreamYard's link into the chat again, so I can get more really cool people on up here. So enjoy this little treat of Virtuoverse, a game that I, as a fan, am really looking forward to. See you in a minute. Hey, welcome back, folks. How is everybody doing? Hey, yes, Jason Dubé, how are you doing, bud? Brother, it is good to see you. It is good to see you. Oh my goodness gracious, I done pulled another Manny and left something playing in the background. Speaking of Manny Correa, creator, writer, artist for the Unbreathable Skunk Girl, he is going to be doing the exclusive trading card that everybody is going to be getting with the sign up. So please go ahead, click that link, sign up. Jason Dubé, hold on one second, brother. I'm going to give you a link. You are now have the blue wrench of power. You may go ahead and paste links and whatnot. You have free control. If you're still here, I did have to take a momentary potty break. I did not have an option in that regard. I've been chugging caffeine since I've been up. Apparently, I was up at 3 this morning, not 4 like I had originally thought. So, and there is a link for the StreamYard, so anybody can jump right on in. I'm back. Please share out this video, this live stream. I am a small channel, and I actually rely on awesome folks like you to help spread the word, to get the word out that I exist. I'm a somebody. Damn it. Yeah, no, seriously though, I am so very excited. The sign up has begun for Scalpel 0 for Prolog to Retribution. I am so. Oh, there was no sound. Oh, goodness gracious. So y'all didn't hear the incredible music. It just did a screen share, and that was it. So you're just watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I really do. That's unfortunate. StreamYards lacks in that department. Then that really kind of just irks me a bit. That irks me. I got to send a quick message. I'm wearing gloves, so it's a little hard to type. So please. And apparently I can't type or nothing. I'm whatever. All right, so I'm getting back. I'm loading the chat back up, getting everything back up and running here, and whatnot. So I'm back. It's been a long day. I've been kind of chomping at the bit in anticipation of this. But I am glad that everybody who's here, everyone who has signed up. I haven't even checked the page yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go check the sign up page and see what's going on here. Let's see what we got going on and see how many people have signed up. I'm still getting used to all of this. So 9 people, nine people have signed up. That is awesome. I'm super excited about that. 9 people have signed up to get an exclusive Manny Correa trading card with any backing level. There will only be physical backing levels. And because the other stuff is the digital stuff is included in the general reward tiers. So, and there is some digital stuff. Not so much a digital comic, but there will be wallpapers for both your computer and for your cellular device / tablet. So there will be a couple of wallpapers. This is one of them. once it is done, and then these will be colored by the illustrious and incredible Willie Reed, who is just an incredible person and amazing artist. Seriously. I know I should have come into this more prepared with links ready to drop into the chat and all that other fun stuff. But we'll take things one thing at a time as learning experiences. The important thing is that the one thing that I don't lack experience on is the ability to deliver product. So I've gone through my learning curve on that. I actually know how to print and deliver and produce all the pages necessary, and I will work tirelessly and diligently to ensure that you get your product. You're people who back this. You're not just backers. You're not just backers. You're investors. You're investing in a lifelong dream of mine. And I know that's a phrase that's thrown around kind of loosely, but since I was 12 and I went to my first comic book convention, I knew that this is what I wanted to do, and that my final days are planned. I plan to expire at the drawing table. That is my plan. So I am. I'm going to work really hard on delivering a top quality product to you. A fantastic cyberpunk adventure. Scalpel Zero, prototype cyber droid, about a decade old, has to, after a cyber gang attack in Pittsburgh in the year 2064, must investigate possible Soviet connections. That's right, the Soviets still exist in this universe, and I have a fun story behind that as well. I'll let you read about that. That'll come about naturally. I'm not going to exposition that kind of stuff. That'll come about in the story. There'll be some exposition for that. I mean, some of that's just unavoidable unless it's a boring history lesson. Well, and there's other possibilities for books in that direction too. Thank you, Shabby. Thank you. Shabby says, what a good attitude. Yeah, I just think it's the proper professional attitude. I think that, people who are going to, they're taking a risk, even though, I say, risk. There's no risk here. I'll deliver. You'll get what you pay for. As the campaign grows, you'll get more production value, more bang for your buck. I'm good at math. I'm good at business, and so I know that that you'll get what you pay for. I hope you enjoy the story. I hope that I've put enough thought into it. Going back to the premise of the story, so it's a bit of an action detective adventure set in a cyberpunk setting. There's going to be some fun cameos from various intellectual properties. Well, there'll be some little fun. There's going to be tons of fun Easter eggs. And don't worry, there will be a key for that. So in some panels, you'll find a little editor's box that has a number in it, and you will be able to go to the references page. There will be a references page in the book that directs you to how you can find more of their cool stuff, more stuff, for instance, Peter Simetti over at Alterna Comics is kind enough to let me borrow the Alterna logo and use that to bring you Alterna theaters. And there are some books and stuff that are movie titles at the Alterna Theater, so it's fun. We have fun. I've known Peter for a few years now, and we're not like tight or close or anything of the sort. We're just, we're comic internet acquaintances, I guess. I have a high deal of affinity for the guy. He's a good person. He's a really solid person, actually. Unjustly comes under fire for stuff, and he has been. He's taken a lot of heat. He's taken a lot of heat, and that wears on a person, man. I ain't gonna lie. He's holding up well for the amount of BS that he has to put up with. But yeah, that's like one of the fun little cameos or nods or tip of the hat too that you'll find in the book. But in this first issue, Scalpel Zero, she's going to go study. She's going to go not study, but investigate, because at this point in time, she is assigned to the U.S. Marshal's Office. For those of you not familiar with the U.S. Marshals, they are a senior law enforcement agency. Not so much they have a very specific role. They're not like the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is basically, that they're kind of like interstate police. The U.S. Marshals, they do a lot of cool stuff. And investigation is one of the things they do. They hunt down criminals and criminal activity, and they work in conjunction with the FBI. Even though there is a little, in real life, there's a little interagency rivalry going on there, and a gray area in between their two jobs. Like the FBI does mostly investigation. The U.S. Marshals are basically like interstate police, like actual cops. And they do a wide variety of things, to include transportation of prisoners to and from detention facilities, correctional facilities they call them, but they don't really correct anybody. But that's another discussion altogether. So yeah, I'm just going to work on this for a little bit longer, and then I've got to take a break from my hand, and I'm going to end the stream there when it's time for me to take a break from my hand, and then I'll come back on later. I might be coming back on another channel to go kind of hang out and draw, maybe do a little bit of plugging. I do appreciate everybody out there in the scene who helps promote and show stuff off. I hope Jason Dubé does show back up. I want him to come up here and come talk about his projects, talk about Scattered Comics. Dude, Scattered Comics, really awesome stuff. They got so much good stuff, and it just gets better and better. And great merch lines too, great merchandising. That's something that I really admire Jason for, is that he's got wonderful merch lines, quality merchandise, t-shirts, hats, all the fun stuff, stickers, buttons. The guy knows how to do it. Not a whole lot of people that can go to a convention and potentially turn a profit, especially if you're a small indie company. But I've seen it. He does a good job. He does a great job. Gives quality products too. Good fun comics, good reads. I do highly recommend it. You can find them on most social media outlets at Scattered Comics. So I'm just going to put in this, probably finish this base layer of shading on this guy and then call it, which means that I'll probably be around for another hour or so. All this cross hatching and stuff it's time consuming. It really is. It does take time. It's a lot of little lines, but this is the style that I'm going to bring to you. I'm going to bring to you a good classic traditional cross hatching kind of style. It's going to be a black and white book. Might do colors as a stretch goal. I don't want to overtax Willie Reed. You know, the guy's got to make a living, and he's doing this pro rata. So, and that means, you know, for profit. So he's going to be getting in on the profit share of this, and so is every artist that's decided that, you know, they're like, hey, I'll do some art for you. And I'm like, well, you know what, then if you're going to do it for me for quote unquote free, then, you know, after fulfillment is done and everybody's got their copies in their hands, then it'll be time to take a look and see what it's left over and how many cups of coffee we're going to be able to afford. So, but only after fulfillment, like not a second before, because you know, once again, as I would be a hypocrite if because I've said repeatedly on this program, other programs, and on social media that your first responsibility is to your backers, and you know, you have to get a product out on time. When you say you're going to get it out, or before is okay. You know, you listen to Coach Malin, and that's what I'm doing. I'm listening to Coach Malin. The guy has experience and knowledge, and he shares it freely. All you have to do is go watch his channel when he's doing his Comicsgate Presents, and you can, oh my goodness, you can pick up a lot. Or, you know, you can go into, you know, go follow Adam Post on social media and go check out his channel. The guy's been doing comics, publishing comics for over 30 years, and has a lot of experience on the subject. And you know, he's in demand on College of the Dead, the second College of the Dead. I don't know. Last time I checked, he was over over $22,000 on that, and it was still growing. I haven't checked in a hot minute, to be honest. I haven't checked in a hot minute, but he's really been picking up momentum, and that is just so exciting. It's so exciting because that's somebody that people should have been investing in more, and because he delivers. He has a long record of delivering. You know, he delivers so well that his nickname is the Postman. You know, not just a play on his last name, like Adam Post, but it's deserved. He's earned it, and that's what I hope to do with this first campaign. I hope to earn some trust, get some word out there, and whatnot. Do a very limited run, and I'm going to base that cap off of the sign up page. We got Trusty Sidekick in the audience. What is up, Trustorino? How you doing, brother? How are you doing? Another artist I want to get work from, but I gotta throw money at him. I need to throw money. I need to make money to throw money. And I know I said that I might have a special auction, but I haven't had a very big crowd today. I don't know what else is going on in the world of comics right now. I've just been paying attention to my own stuff. I know, a little selfish, but it's what needs to be done. You know, you got to build your channel, you got to build your social media, and come on in, and you know, you got to build stuff up and get things going. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. We're getting close to 200 subs on this channel. Thank you very much to everybody who's been supporting this channel, whether you're new or you've been here since the beginning. I'm very excited to have you here. It means everything to me, to be honest. It really does. Like it means everything, because without you, I'm just shouting into the void. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants that. We want you know, it's you got to have an audience. Got to have an audience. So I'm trying to keep these lines a little consistent per object. This is just the base underlining shading. I'll be going back over again in a different direction on each of these different little areas in order to add more depth, more volume to all these objects. But this is probably the most tedious part. And since my hand was chewed up by a pit bull a few years back, I don't have the ability to draw for as long a periods as I used to. So I have to take breaks, and I usually it's when I'm in full production mode. That's usually when I sleep. So for the next few weeks, I'm probably going to be napping mostly, and then maybe once or twice a week I'll actually get some sleep. I'll probably get some sleep Monday or Tuesday, because my plans are that I will be leaving the studio, taking a break after this weekend, because I'm going to be pouring myself out to anywhere and everywhere, any channel, any stream, any broadcast I can get myself on. I'm definitely going to try and do that and get the word out. And I appreciate it if you share the word, spread the word. Make sure that you're logged into your IndieGoGo and share the page out, because I don't know how the referral system works, but I don't want anybody to miss out on referrals. And there will be special prizes for the top rewards, the top referrals. And the top prize, I will tell you right now, is an original page from the book. It will be an original page. So, and I know you all want to see pages, but we're in the pre-sign up. It doesn't hurt to sign up. It costs nothing to sign up, and you're not obligated to buy. It just means that you are eligible for an exclusive trading card that I will not make available anywhere else. Like, that will be, like, the overprint on that is just to ensure that I get good quality, and then the remainder, I'm going to destroy them live. Once fulfillment is complete and those people who signed up ahead of time get their card and whatnot, they're going to I'm destroying the rest, because that was absolutely exclusive and special, and I want them to remain that way. They need to stay special. So and that's just how that's going to go, is that I will destroy any of the extra special rewards left over after fulfillment, any of the overprint, to ensure that they retain that collectability, to reward people for signing up in advance, because that's how much I appreciate it. I really do. But yes, there will be a referral program, so make sure you're signed in, and you're I don't know how that exactly works. Like, you use their little button to share the thing out. I think that's what you have to do, is that's how it keeps track of the referrals. You can't just copy paste the link, or maybe you can. I don't know. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Jason, if you want to come up here, let me go ahead, because I know that you have projects. You have something that's live on IndieGoGo right now, and I gave you a wrench, so you can go ahead and drop links in the chat to your stuff, because that's what we're here. It takes not just like a singular network, although having a solid network is great, but it takes multiple networks in order to really truly get the word out on your projects. And that's what I want to do. I want to support good comics and good people. Absolutely. So there is a link to the StreamYards, to the stream up here, to the panel in the chat. So StreamYard is a very simple program to use. So I do recommend, come on in, say hi, tell us about yourself, drop some links, maybe even prep a video. You can screen share that stuff, and I'll get you showcased. I definitely want to show people off, especially you, Jason. We've worked before in the past, briefly, but we have. I did a special epilogue for a horror story, Shattered Tales, I think it was. Yeah. I have the book around here somewhere. I'm just really just right now. I would pick that stuff as soon as I can find that book, because I just had it. I was just showing it to somebody. Here it is. Blah, blah, blah. Nope, maybe not. Oh, come on. I thought it was right here. Man, it's my copy of that book. That's my copy of that book. Those are some old comic books. Yeah. I know, I have it around here somewhere. I showed it off just recently. I'm really proud of that my appearance in that book. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm a little scatterbrained. This is my first crowdfunding operation here, so still kind of getting things squared away here. I know, it's just completely clown shoes, amateur hour, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I am just going to work diligently, get the rest of this base shading in. I'm going to take a break. Man, there are so many good books too. And Cyberpunk, oh man. The competition is real, but it's not competition, it's co-opetition. Cooperative competition. That's where it's a term mostly used in NASCAR when you have two drivers on the same team, right? And they're trying to win each. They're trying to outdo each other, but at the same time, they want their team to come in first. And I do have a particular bias. I have a couple particular biases, a few. I've got the wonderful Comicsgate network, a bunch of incredibly talented creators, passionate about what they do. And no, they're not ists or phobes. That's a straw man. It's just such a ridiculous straw man too. It's just, it's disgusting. But and then I've got the dog stars, like Trusty and Shabby. Love them. These are my brothers from another mother's. I've got some awesome creators in there. We come from all sorts of different walks. It's kind of like a gathering of there's no singular group. We might share a couple of groups in common. And then, I've got people that I've worked with before, like Scattered Comics and CK Comics, and the folks that I worked with over there and whatnot. That's where I give those folks, I give those groups, I give them a priority, because we've built up that camaraderie, we've built up that fellowship, and we all understand each other. We all understand that we have one singular defining goal in common, and that is good comics to entertain folks. And we're not excluding anybody. Nobody, because as the hashtag goes, comics are for everyone. And if you're putting out a comic and you have to tell your audience, well, this comic isn't for you, then that comic's for nobody. It is. It's for nobody. It's bad business. It's bad business. Unless, you know, it's like age restricted, you know, due to content. Like the Scalpel Zero stuff. The Scalpel Zero, don't get this comic for your kids. Just don't. This is not a comic for kids. If I had to give it a rating, it would be a pretty solid rated R. There's violence, language, drugs, nudity. This is a dark and twisted cyberpunk tale. It's not for kids, but you know who it is for? Everybody over 17 and older. At least here in the States, you know, that would be the age. Everyone's 17 and older. Some states it might even be a little older. Oh, thank you, Jason. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Jason says it's looking good. Hats off to him. So, yeah, you know, that's all it is. That's all it is, man. And that should be the only restriction on your book. Is like, is it for children or is it not? Kind of like, you know, how YouTube works. You know, this channel is not for children. If your children are watching, yeah, send them out of the room. Go have them do something else. It's I don't know, here in sunny Southern California, it is a gorgeous day. So it's a perfect day to go send the kids to the backyard and go play on the swing set for a little bit. Go dig a hole, piss off the gardener. But yeah, definitely this is not this book is not for them. My kids too, they're like, you know, I was talking to one of my older daughters about you know, the fact that I'm live streaming, and you know, I'm trying to get some tips and tricks from her. She's savvy about this type of stuff, and my younger sons, their ears perk up. You're a live streamer? Because they watch, you know, some of those YouTube videos made for kids on the YouTube Kids. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am. Can I watch your show? And I, you know, I look over at Mama, and it's just like, yeah, no. And one day I will do a show for kids. At that point, you know, I'm going to try and schedule that. So I'll get somebody like Mandy Summers, who's got her Wart the Wizard, which is a kid's book. You know, I'll get her on here and at least try, you know, get her on here, and she can talk about that and her future plans for Wart and show off that stuff. I think she's closed out the in-demand on that. And she did fund really good. She did over 17K. She did good. She did really good. And hats off to her. Shabby says, I'm really excited for the Cyberpunk 2077 game as well. Dude, me too. I am like, there are two games that I am super looking forward to this year. One is Virtual Reverse from Theta Division Games, point and click, you know, pixel art, cyberpunk adventure. And the other one is Cyberpunk 2077. And even though Cyberpunk 2077 is like first person, and I am not a first person gamer. It does not get me. You know, I understand what CD Projekt Red is going for on that. That you know, it's immersive. Yeah, it's really not. Maybe if it was like, you know, maybe if I had a VR headset, I could consider it to be immersive. But I just know that within the first couple of days of the game being out, I'm going to be able to go over to the Nexus and go pick up the third-person camera mod. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run around third person. And you know who I'm making. I'm making Scalpel Zero. I'm going to make her in that game. I might even cheat mod it a little bit because I am familiar with the Cyberpunk system. And from what I understand, because they had Mike Pondsmith, the amazing Mike Pondsmith, creator of the Cyberpunk tabletop role-playing game. He's worked with CD Projekt Red intimately on the project. And so I'm pretty sure, and it's supposed to coincide with the Cyberpunk Red, which is the tabletop game. Currently, they only have the Jumpstart kit out, but you can go get that at artelsorian.com. They do have that game available. the Jumpstart kit. You can get that. It's from what I understand. I don't have it yet, but from what I understand, it's basically just the basic rules set, and with some enough world material that you can go ahead and make your own adventures and go ahead and make your own characters and go have some fun. But I have played a lot of Cyberpunk 2020, and I played a little bit of the Cyberpunk 2013, the original. That would be the first edition Cyberpunk tabletop RPG. I've also played the CyberGen, which is the 2027 book, and then the 2030X. I played a little bit of that, and I gotta say, man, I did not like it. I didn't. I kind of ended up adapting a lot of the stuff that was in there for when I was running a game in Pondsmith's Cyberpunk world. I ended up adapting that stuff to the 2020 rules, and as I did with everything else, I adapted a lot of that stuff to the Cyberpunk 2020 rules, because honestly, I felt that like that was the best edition of the game. The math was simple, it was easy. Artelsorium, was like I think it was Teenagers from Outer Space was the first game, and they made that game, by the way, Teenagers from Outer Space, which is basically high school in space. It's hilarious, fun game to play. That was stat plus skill plus die roll. They kind of originated that whole deal, and so made it good. Shabby says, dude, you can change the size of your genitals. That game is gonna be sick. Yeah, no, dude. And when I first saw that, I immediately thought of like, all right, so I used to run the piss out of 2020, and I, occasionally, and whenever I got like a new female player, of course, it'd be like I'd go through the cybernetics list, and of course, there's this one augmentation called the Mr. Stud / Midnight Lady, and it's basically cyber junk, cyber genitals, and I would read out the description, and occasionally the female player would look and go, all right, so I want to get for my female character, I want to get a Mr. Stud. And I was like, oh, you mean a Midnight Lady? They're like, no, I mean a Mr. Stud. And I'm like, all right. Hey, man, it's the future. It's transhuman. You I guess you literally are going to rock out with your blank out. And that was usually like, the response that was, damn right I am. So yeah, no, it's part of the whole cyberpunk thing is then you break molds, man. Go make your own mold. And so yeah, I'm not at the end, of course, there's been like the standard outrage of how dare you, but it's like, nah, man, you really got to understand the genre. It's meant to kind of throw conventionality to the side and embrace the unusual. It's about not being status quo. Characters that are status quo are, pardon me, usually pretty dull. I ain't gonna lie, usually pretty dull. All right, I'm gonna set this down for a second. Now, how's the resolution? Now, I got this thing to set the broadcast out at 720p. I'm gonna take a look on my phone real quick and see how this looks. Oh, good. You can actually see kind of the detail that I'm putting in there. Let me see what. Okay, that's only at 480. Let's see if this changes. If it looks any different in 720. So yeah, no, that looks crisp. It looks good. It's not too bad. Yeah, that is coming out nice. Whew. Oh, you'll have to pardon me. My hand is murdering me. It feels like it gets to the point where it's not like it's like sore or achy or anything. It feels like I just burnt it on the stove. That is the sensation of the pain in my hand, is that it feels like I just burnt it on the stove and it's still freshly cooking. So I'm going to take a moment here, pause for station identification, and enjoy me some caffeine. Not an endorsement, but hey, I would not be offended if Starbucks sent me some free frappuccinos. I don't really drink them all that often. I mostly eat a keto diet these days. You know, low carb, good fats, lots of nutritious type food. Ah, that's tasty. That is that's not bad for a bottled drink, I'll tell you that. Especially like canned coffee. Yeah, I drink more canned coffee than I care to admit. But yeah, no, if you like this picture, I mean, you're gonna love this comic. You're gonna love this stuff. But I think my hand might be trying to get me to quit. But I ain't a quitter. I'm at least finish up Senor Claw here. That's not his name. It's just a working title. Still kind of. Yeah. So Chevy says, I go for the we'll take care of it in the gym diet. Well, hey, as long as you're keeping those lectins down to a minimum. Lectins are found often in families of the nightshade plant, in the skins mostly. As long as you're keeping those lectins down to a minimum, you should be doing good. Lectins are really, really bad for you. It's not that you shouldn't have lectins. I mean, it's just like any other naughty food. You know, you just got to really monitor that kind of stuff because it'll lead to visceral fat and cirrhosis of the liver, like drinking booze, too much booze. You know, that's that fat you just can never seem to get rid of. And that'll do you in early. You know, having some weight on your body is not a bad thing. You know, you got to have some body fat. If you don't have body fat, your body has a hard time regulating its temperature, regulating its metabolism. There's a whole bunch of physical problems that can come up from that. But at the same time, you don't want too much body fat because that's really unhealthy and it can lead to organ failure, heart disease, diabetes, a whole bunch of other really nasty things that will not keep you around for very long. And honestly, if you're here watching this channel, I'd like you to be around for the long haul. I plan to be. So, yeah, you know, you don't have to eat like a health nut, but just most of the time. And not the standard definition of what people think is healthy. They eat a lot of grains and whatnot, and that's carbs, dude. It's all carbs, and that's empty carbs. You know, that's the empty carbs, the carbs without nutritional value, real nutritional value, and that'll do you in. That'll bring about a really just wasting death and towards the end of the game, and nobody wants that. Oh, I don't know. Maybe some people want that, but you know, some people want to wait in line at Disneyland. Sick people. I like the lines at Disneyland. Line ride's my favorite ride. Sicko. Once again, I thank everybody for coming here and joining me. And on this special day of launching the sign up for the pre-launch, this pre-launch sign up for the special Manny Correa trading card. I'm very excited about that. That makes me super happy. Everybody who's come and joined up. And remember, please share it out. I do. I do rely on my fans to spread the word. I'm real small. I'm a tiny guy. Yeah, rice. Chevy says rice is my go-to carb. I eat a lot of that with meats and baby spinach and loads of eggs. Well, if you cut down on the rice, you will actually be hungry less, because all those carbs, they trigger a hormone called ghrelin, which communicates to the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve goes directly to the brain, and it is a real MFer. This is why sugar is so addictive, because the vagus nerve is what tells you you're hungry, but it's not telling you you're hungry. It's telling you your stomach is empty. And just because your stomach is empty does not necessarily mean that you are hungry. It just means your stomach's empty. So be sure to limit that. Plenty of meats. Meats are good. The myths regarding meats. Meats, fat is good. Fat is good. Salt is bad. Keto diets, you can eat a lot of bacon, but most bacon is like cured and has all these salts and preservatives and stuff in it, which is which is thing. Well, protein is the building blocks. Proteins with aminos and good minerals. Those are the building blocks for big muscles, brother. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Chevy says, I'm trying to build some size, dude. I need that hunger. No, you don't need the hunger. You just need to know when to eat. Trustee says, stop it, Chevy. You're making me hungry. And Chevy says, I'm so getting a T-bone once the restaurants are open again. Oh, dude, I cannot wait until the restaurants are open again, man. I like my cooking. I am a good cook. I can cook confidently, but man, I want good food that I didn't make. just to be fair on that, I want good food that I didn't make. I want someone else to make me num-nums, to be honest. I want someone else to make me my num-nums and put them in my belly. No, you know what? I'll put them in my belly. They just make me the num-nums, and we'll have all that covered. Especially since, like some items to cook at home are it's just too much prep cooking. And I don't like to spend a lot of time prep cooking. Well, Chevy, one way that you can get away with eating more of what you like is by using a pressure cooker. The shorter time that you cook your food, of course, you need to, eat your food cooked to a proper degree. But the shorter time that you spend cooking your food, the less time you are spending destroying the nutrients within it, turning them into a non-digestible form. So pressure cookers are a great way to do that. There's plenty of awesome pressure cooker recipes out there on the net, and you can take a look into that type of stuff. These days they're not the death traps they were when I was a kid. They're electric, and they've got good pressure release and all that other stuff, so they won't explode, won't destroy your house. But I always try to look out for yourself. I don't try to preach it, folks, though. Carbs equal energy, right? I lift a lot. It's true. Shabby's pretty swole. For all those who don't know, Shabby's swole. He looks a lot like his character Vestry, funny enough. He does. The resemblance is uncanny, and I don't think that's on purpose. Because I remember seeing like earlier designs of Vestry, and he looked different. And he just properly developed his character, and now he's developing himself. Oh yeah, beefy, beefy. Oh yeah, Chevy says, "Oh yes, I have been eyeing pressure cookers and slow cookers for the longest time. I hate cooking, so throwing it all into one pot and letting it be is very tempting." Yeah, dude, no, get a pressure cooker, man, because it cooks it up quick. You retain the maximum number of nutrients, enzymes that can survive short bursts, enzymes and other stuff that can survive short periods of intense heat remain intact. A lot of amino acids, they break down if you cook them too long. And so you're losing your building blocks. It's like buying a set of Legos and throwing out all the small pieces, and then wondering why your X-wing just came out all kind of wrong. Shabby denies all similarities between him and his character. Trusty Sidekick says, getting ready to make a bunch of fajitas for Mother's Day dinner. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, shoot. Today's Mother's Day. I'm a terrible person. I'm working all day today. I'm just an awful, awful person. But that's okay. Actually, we're doing Mother's Day celebration on not Mother's Day, on Monday. So, because launching this weekend, and this is my life, man. I spend weeks at a time, literally weeks at a time, working. And building a future, and it's a sacrifice, but it's worth it. It's worth it, because much like people who will be investing in me by getting in on this project, by signing up for the pre-launch page, so they can get that exclusive trading card. I invest in this as well, because I believe in it. I think that is much, and I'm not talking smack. I love all these other cyberpunk books out there, and I'm not just saying it. I genuinely love them. It's my favorite genre. I think it's very pertinent, and I predicted that after the Capes and Types, superhero popularity was waning, that the next one would be cyberpunk. And holy hot diggity dog, I was right. So I'm excited too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the description again for the exclusive sign-up page. Go sign up, go share it out. No, it doesn't cost a thing except for maybe 30 seconds of your day, and I will appreciate it immensely. But yes, please get the word out. Spread the word. This is going to be an incredible book. Like I was just going to say, I don't mean anything less to any of these other cyberpunk books out there. They all look fantastic. And trust me, if I had the money, I would be throwing it at them. There are like Cybershock 1.0. It came and went. I missed out on it. There was another one that the name escapes me that I missed out on. There's 2 more books that I'm blanking on right now, and I'll do a special stream where I just show off like all the really, really cool all the really, really cool like cyberpunk stuff, all the cool cyberpunk IndieGoGos, and especially stuff coming out of Comicsgate. It's superior. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's superior. It's just got some really, really top-notch quality stuff going on. But this is one that I hope that I have put enough thought into it, enough work into it, that it can be it really encapsulates the genre. So I'm going to drop that link into the chat one more time for the sign up page. Copy and paste. There we go. And then send it and register. There it goes. Cool. Yeah, so please go sign up if you haven't already. Go share it out. Go smack somebody in the face with it. That would be awesome. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and take a rest and let these orange hands bad rest so they can get back up to more nefarious things. And I hope to catch y'all soon. And once again, I really, really do thank you. Oh, hey, look who we got showing up in the chat. Steep Stone, what's up? Oh my goodness, I love this channel. Oh, dude, that is so cool. Thank you very, very much for showing up. Hold on. I gotta hand out a wrench. I was gonna call it, but you know what? I'm handing out a wrench. I'm gonna hang around for just a minute longer. Let me go ahead. Add moderator. Steep Stone, go ahead. Drop a link. Drop a link to your stuff. So Steep Stone, that's a really cool group of folks. They play this game called Deep Rock Galactic. It's dwarves mining in space. It's a first-person shooter with procedurally generated levels, hordes of monsters and baddies, intense strategy, team composition, and good and gameplay with possibly I don't know. I probably have to say that, like, the best gaming community I've ever run across. Oh, you're very welcome, Steve Stone. I'm a big fan. Oh, dude, that is so cool. You showing up, man. I really like. I mostly they stream on Twitch and they post the videos to the YouTube and they got a great Instagram. I love their Instagram because they post up these clips and they're just too funny. I'm dying laughing with their content. So definitely go check them out. Go check out Deep Rock Galactic. This game it's good. And like y'all heard me earlier, I'm not a fan of first-person shooters, but that one is fun. That one is a lot of fun. Like that and like Sanctum 2 are the two first-person shooters that I play these days. And Sanctum 2 is like a combination tower defense first-person shooter, but the Deep Rock Galactic is just so much fun. I mean, it's dwarves getting drunk, mining and shooting stuff. And it's just absolutely, it's a riot. It's a riot. And dude, the gameplay is intense. The gameplay is intense. Like you get people who, you know, they're like, oh, I'm pro. I'll play, you know, Call of Duty. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, dude. No, you with the Deep Rock Galactic, you really, really get your game down. No joke. Oh, thank you, Steve Stone. Dude, oh, you're awesome. You're the best. Everybody who comes by this channel, you guys are the best fans. I'm sorry to all the other channels, but your fans are not as cool as mine. I do have the best ones. Not that mostly because they come over here and not there. Little trash talking. Little friendly trash talk, but you know, Steve Stone, dude, I do highly recommend everybody in the chat go check out. Go click that link. Go check that stuff out. Go follow them. Go watch them on Twitch. They're too much fun. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit more inking since they showed up. A little bit more here. Let's see here. So I got the base, the first level of the line work. It looks like that's down for this guy for. Mr. Claw. Still working title. Don't have an official name for him yet. I still got to do like all the rocks and debris, and I'm probably going to draw. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and add in some more like debris here. We're going to go ahead and bend an I-beam. Yeah, I know. The amount of force it takes to bend an I-beam is incredible. And it always does end up warping the I-beam because physics. It's just, you know, it's a little rough. It's a little rough. It kind of takes its toll on the materials. So I'm gonna add in some more rubble and stuff over here. Add some more depth because we do want. So I got Scalpel Zero. She's leaping. She's gonna be leaping through this wall of flames with the dual kukri out there, jumping right at Mr. Claw here. About to engage him in CQB, close quarters battle, the deadliest battle that anybody get into, and that information comes directly from the Navy SEAL veterans. And if anybody knows about experience in what is dangerous in battle, I think they're kind of qualified. I think they're qualified. So I'm going to take a look here. Oh yeah, there's some more stuff I can get done right over here. So right now, because I mainly inked the foreground picture, I did all the line work in a 0.3. I think I did it in 0.3 millimeter. So I'm doing the cross hatching in a 0.25 millimeter. In order to retain some detail, I'm going to have to kind of go against the grain here. But so that way it doesn't overwhelm the actual line work itself. So I don't want to do that. And I want to, at minimum, feather these dark edges. Now, feathering, for those who don't know, is when you have a dark black area and you're drawing some lines out to kind of soften that hard line right there, to kind of soften it up. So that's the minimum of what I need to do with that, is a little bit of feathering. Now, normally in traditional comic art, they usually use a brush or a quill nib, and they'll taper the feathering so it gets thicker as it gets to the black area. And I'm not doing that. I'm working with drafting pens, these Copic multi-liners. Do love these. Highly recommend them. The price can be a little daunting at first, but let me tell you, over time, you're gonna save money. Over time, you're gonna save money, because especially if you get the replaceable barrels, the ones that you can replace the ink cartridge, you can replace the nibs, because the nibs are inexpensive, and so is the ink. They both last for a decent amount of time. You can put a lot of wear and tear into them. It's easy to replace, and after a few times of replacing those, they cost a whole lot less. They cost a whole lot less than, especially the longer you use them. You cost a whole lot less, and you get a superior product as opposed to like any disposable pens. And I used to be like an avid Micron user. Like, dude, that was my go-to. It was like, microns. But since I got into using Copics, now I'm like Copic. I know, I'm a Copic simp. I simped for Copics. I'm gonna get that as a bumper sticker. I simp for Copics. So I want to do this one last little bit of shading here, and then we'll call it for a little bit, and I'll see y'all in a little while. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at /TankFerretArt. That's right, I'm pretty easy to find. But definitely, I know that Twitter can be kind of a cesspool, but my Twitter feed is actually really nice. I have great people, and no drama, just comics there, at least for me. I know, and that's rough. That's like, oh, did you accomplish that? Well, you know, I just didn't give drama the time of day. I just didn't. Okay. All right. Steve Stone, thank you very much. Oh, Steve Stone says, hey, so the dwarf has a question for you. Who is Manny Correa? It says we can get an exclusive trading card for him on the IndieGoGo page. Manny Correa, and unfortunately, it didn't give me enough room to put this on the IndieGoGo page. But Manny Correa is the artist, writer, and creator for The Unbreathable Skunk Girl. It's sensational, smexy villainess herself. Oh, the bad girl. I mean, a really great comic. And he did very, very well. He did very well. It was a smash success, especially for his first crowdfunding. I mean, when you really take that into consideration, like, wow, he hit a home run. He's a fantastic artist. And I'm I am blessed to have him on board for the project. He's a fantastic guy. You can go check him out at Good Dog Press. You can find him on Twitter at press_dog, or you can find, you can just search Good Dog Press and he will come up here on YouTube. He's been out for a little while. He took a break from the comics for a little bit and to do some family stuff, work on the vehicles, and spend some time with the family and whatnot. But he will be back. Yeah, Shabby. Manny did kind of disappear from the face of the earth. Well, he works a full-time job, and then he came home and he worked a full-time job on his comic. So he is making up for lost time with his family and other stuff. And he's coming back, and he'll have things more organized. And man, I tell you that Skunk Girl issue 2 is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I've seen some previews, and he turned the quality of the artwork up to like 11. He really did. He's bringing it. He ain't messing around. And it's going to be a fun, good 90s style bad girl comic. So if you like that kind of stuff, man, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Thank you, Steve Stone. They say, oh, wow. Okay, we're going to check him out too. Good. Manny's my brother from another mother. And if I can plug him anytime, I will, because he's just an awesome dude. All righty, folks. I'm going to call it. And I'll see you around. I'm gonna go get myself maybe a snackify, go rest my evil orange hands, which are not diminutive. And once again, I thank you all very much. Please remember to go ahead, like, share, subscribe, so on and so forth. Go check me out on other social media. Go check out the other people. I'm gonna have to go through the chat and go grab a whole bunch of links and add them to the description later. I hope you enjoyed the Virtuoverse preview. That's a game I'm really looking forward to from Theta Division Games. Go check it out on the Steam store. Pixel adventure, point click, cyberpunk. Man, it's gonna be good. I've been watching that game in development for over 4 years now. Hot stuff. Hot stuff. Good stuff. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. And for signing up and sharing and hanging out. And thank you, everybody. Later, Trustarino. I do appreciate you, the trusty sidekick. Good bud. Shabby, my son. I miss you. Say hi to Mom for me. And I'll check you guys out later. Okay, bye.